it's so crazy people still stuck in Patrick Mahomes in the offense. I'm like, do you see these numbers? This is Marcellus Wiley on the rocks.
Hey, all the way back.
Welcome to episode 14 of On the Rocks. Boy, we got a packed house. Bucky just broke it down too. He said, you can tell when the Lakers doing well because LA
all the way back.
They come
All
outside.
the way back.
I think you love to see it. Sleeps in here when they win.
Man, and they be wearing them same ass jerseys. I'm like, McAdoo does not play anymore. Will you let it be?
And even worse, nothing matches. Nothing matches that yellow.
And Marcellus Wiley, that dude, love you guys. Love and prayers out to my little MJ. I haven't told any of y'all. He broke his wrist yesterday, man. He was out in the backyard playing with his little cousin.
2 weeks in a row.
It just turned. Yeah, he almost broke his nose last week. Escaped that. He didn't break it. He did break his arm. Cleanest break they said you could have. Just competing with his cousin. Went too hard, too far. 6 weeks out, but he broke his left one. God knows what he's doing. Because God's like, hey, you playing a lot of basketball. Work on your damn right. He got 6 weeks to work on his right. He a lefty.
He was.
Oh,
he
yeah.
was a lefty.
He was a lefty.
No, that's good, though.
Hey, all the athletes in here, all of us.
Yeah, I'm a lefty. I'm a lefty.
All right, little man, you good now.
I'm a lefty. I love that. He gonna have a nice little shot, just like I did. You know what I'm saying? Just like I did.
Go get it.
Throwing that in there. You see how I'm throwing that in there? Nah, this
I
Donald
want my
Penn.
son going undrafted. Look at, see how dumb that sounds? See how dumb that sounds? I did it on purpose.
Wow, no, he didn't.
There are parents that
He's
say
been on me
that.
lately, man.
That's
He's
not
been
your
on me lately,
friend.
man.
That is not your
parents
friend.
Hey, I'm not going to introduce myself. Just go ahead, but let's go ahead, but let's go ahead.
I want my son going 3 popos.
Hey, just go ahead.
I was joking.
The show has changed.
We really go hard.
You want to switch seats?
Yeah.
Buck, you want to switch
Buck,
seats? You wanna
spit
switch
into
seats
that.
with me,
Spit into it, man. You got to go this way, Buck. You got to speak this way. It's the best way.
Like, you're just going to have me spitting into the mic and doing all this other stuff.
Pause, first of all.
That's not what we're doing. Here,
Welcome
Bucky
back.
Brooks, all things ball. I talk about it on a bunch of different platforms. Excited to be here back with my guys. It's been a minute.
Let's go.
Yes, sir. Hatchy Hatch in the building. You know what it is. Keep it moving.
Yep.
Richie Porter, Chicago, South Side. Let's go.
Just back in the building. New York City's finest. We here.
Terry Jingles, filmmaker extraordinaire in the building.
Yo, what up? It's your boy Chef Daz, friend of the show, back in this thing.
He's dressing for it, too. He got on the Averex.
Yeah.
Showed up with the Dada.
Yeah.
He's got Dada Supreme on.
Mark Adolphus, welcome back, Trip.
Wait.
Let's go.
And so we have are you a real chef?
I am, bro.
Man, we ain't ate nothing in 14 weeks. You can't bring us some salmon bits or something.
You got
You
would extra when you got a
think
gig. Just make a little extra for the next day.
Oh, man.
We are going to put that together.
We'll pay for
No,
it.
for
Just
real.
bring us some food.
I told Marcellus we're going to put that together. We're going to do that for real.
I did think
That lets you know we ain't eating. Somebody says, yeah, I told Marcellus. You got to tell me for what you need to
all
bring
these
food.
shows, I thought Marcel would have like some pizza one
like
day.
a little spread over there. Some
Some carrots
We the
and
last
cheese.
ones that need to be supporting pizza in the morning.
We still got to eat something.
I know.
We ain't never had
No lie,
nothing.
I wanted to bring food, but then that's gonna make y'all eat. And then if you're eating, you
Oh,
ain't
we got
talking.
itis.
You're not gonna talk. Well, I got itis too.
I'm getting tired. That's why I said.
My brain works better when I'm on a full belly, though.
Yeah.
I can do
Oh,
both.
you are?
Yeah, I'm going to do it.
You're just gonna take over my kitchen, huh?
take over your
Okay.
It's going to be worth it, though.
Hey, don't like black mamas always say, don't let no girl come in your kitchen. I ain't let no man come in my kitchen. All right, let's get into this because LeBron is talking about his kitchen, which is the NBA. He's been running it for 2 decades as the face of the NBA. Choice words this week. LeBron shooting back at all of the daily critics of the NBA. He didn't say names, but we could put names
We
to
know
it.
who it was.
Inside the NBA crew, ESPN, etc. And they shot back. Everybody like, excuse me, you know the responsibility that comes from being the face of the NBA. Criticism is the cost of praise. He understands, LeBron, why Anthony Edwards denies being the face of the NBA, doesn't want that responsibility. So I want to just throw it around, take it to the room. Like being the face of the NBA, which side are we on? We on LeBron's side? Like, yo, y'all over here doing too much, always hating on us. Or are you on the NBA side?
I'm not on either side, but
okay.
I mean, because y'all,
He always knew.
y'all always gotta pick a side. That's what's wrong with y'all. That's what's wrong with y'all media. I'm not media. I'm just your friend having fun on this.
Oh,
show.
I love that.
That's what all media says.
That's what everyone
People
says.
who are on
To sound
media say,
authentic.
"I'm not
There you go,
media."
yeah.
What are you then?
Okay, so
you got a
everybody-
mic in your fucking
Everybody
hand.
that sits on this on Twitter and IG, as soon as they start talking, people are like, oh, that's media. Media
That is
said
media.
that, but
That is
that's
the new
not
thing.
media. They're just other people talking. We
There's
don't
new
take their
forms of
opinions.
media now.
You are not media because you have not answered this question yet.
I'm
So,
trying to- I
can
know.
you answer the
Thank
damn
you.
question?
But that's my whole point. It's like just because LeBron says, okay, this is what they're doing to me, right? As me being the face, right? Anthony Edwards not going to get the exact same respect because I think it's just too early. We're seeing the end of LeBron's career and how everybody's been treating him for 20 years. Anthony Edwards is like, no, this is the beginning of my career. I don't want you guys to treat me like this for the
Ooh,
next
there you go.
15 years. And I think that's what he's saying.
But Anthony Edwards wants the money that comes with that. If you want the money that comes with
I
that,
don't think he wants
you
it. I
got
think
it.
it's coming to him because of who he is, but he's also running from it. Right? That
Well,
last
he-
comment he made with Wemby's, you guys got Wemby for that. That was him running from it for me. And
Well,
like that,
yeah.
And that's fine. That's fine too if you don't want that, right? Because there's a lot that comes with this. If you don't want it, say that. And he put it out there like, don't come at me with the face of the NBA.
Well,
talk.
because you have to walk this line, right? So now Anthony Edwards' personal life is his personal life.
Exactly, he is a
But when
man.
you start pulling up the hood, when you're the face, all of that stuff comes into play. I think LeBron is saying, yeah, there's a lot that comes with this, and it's not just like on the court. He's been expected to kind of live a perfect life because everyone has tried to dig up scandals. Think about even Michael Jordan and all this other, even going back to Kobe. Like all of the other stuff is now in play when you're the face. How you perform on the court, how you live off the court. There's no shutting off. So why would anybody want that spotlight on them? Because now you got to move completely differently.
It's the same as like running for elected office or president. I went to the White House a couple weeks ago, y'all know, and every no, I was really gonna say everybody I met, you know, the mayor here or the city councilman or just someone who had to go through the election process, all of them was like, dog, you have no idea. The one guy talked to me for 10 minutes about the scandals they brought up that weren't even true. And then, look, LeBron, everyone's seen this video. LeBron at the free throw line, no, someone was shooting free throws and LeBron putting his hands on his knees a little tired and he looks. And that white girl look at him too. And then they got some kind of like either I seen you before. What could have been that day? Like
I'm gonna see you
But
tonight.
it was an exchange
That's
of
what the
like,
look.
oh, I see you. And then it's like,
She
I
was
see you too.
peeping him.
Yeah, she was trying to just make sure I break your concentration, whatever it is. But the point is, they take that into scandal.
Whatever. Hey, dog, we know what it is. It's
Right.
like, whatever.
We know what it is, and then we
know
could
what
not
it
know
is.
what it is. But the point is, when you elect it or when you are the face of
All of it.
it's going to be negative.
Well,
and it's going to always
that's why I never ran for office.
No, that ain't why.
Yeah,
Oh, that background?
You gotta have
That's
background
why-
check?
yeah.
It wasn't a lack
want-
of votes.
So
I'm
we
on one today.
No,
we
you
looked
know,
up the
you know, I come from that background,
The
and
background
That's true.
check.
and that's what you know. that
Original
was-
Black
That
Caucus
was what
over
was next, and I was like, no, I don't want that scrutiny through my whole life. No,
Is that because you
Absolutely.
weren't perfect? And I don't mean that in like none of us are perfect. I mean like you knew you had some stuff to hide, or was it just like it's unnecessary to make the impact that I
it
want to
was
make? in
all
school?
of it.
Really?
Yeah,
You had some stuff to hide.
Well, everybody does, but
No.
We're talking about you right now.
No, that's a lie.
it was not. It was. I didn't want.
What are you
I
talking
didn't,
about?
we're talking about your
I didn't want
skeletons
my-
right now,
I
not
didn't want
everybody
my-
else.
I didn't want
I
my
gotta
life
lie like
going
that.
under the microscope.
I mean, maybe.
I didn't want my life going under a microscope.
What do you think
Period.
you've done that would
Would not.
alter-
That's
All
not.
of it.
That's not.
It's all- it's all-
asking a question.
It's all-
He's
it's
not
all-
media.
It's all perception.
You know, I've just seen it way too many times, and once you're in there, there's no escaping it.
Well, in the NBA, this is weird because it's not an elected office. Right. LeBron even said, he's like, y'all just made me the face. I didn't ask for this, but okay, I'm not running from the responsibility.
LeBron did ask for it when he was driving a $75,000 Hummer when he was a senior in high school.
And when he put chosen on his back.
And
was-
you're the
he
highest
was
paid.
chosen.
When you're the highest paid.
He
you're
chose
the highest
him,
paid
man.
person
He
in the
didn't
NBA.
choose it.
How are you not the?
But none of
how
those
you
chose
not,
him.
like-
But none of those things says he chose it because look,
Yes, yes.
Allen Iverson did antics. and he was never the face. Steph
was
Curry
the
did
face.
antics, but like saying I'm the man or the chosen one is not saying I'm the face of the NBA because that's a whole different polish.
LeBron always played into it. He wanted to be the guy.
No,
wanted that.
he even admitted I didn't.
Everything he
I
did
didn't
plays to
shirk
that.
the responsibility.
Right.
But in the same conversation, he's like, I get why no one wants to do it, but in the NBA, doesn't it seem like they're gonna make you the face if they
But
want
see,
to, regardless if you want it?
What's happening now is LeBron doesn't want the scrutiny on Bronny. So
No, I don't think-
So
I don't
what
think
he's
that's-
saying,
I think
I see where you're going with that. I agree with that.
I think he's responding to the criticism his son has been getting, and he has been
I
getting.
think LeBron's
So I think
tired.
he's,
I think
I
he's
think he's like backdooring, saying,
Nah, I think
You
he's
know what I'm
tired.
saying,
No,
Blaze?
I think he's tired. He's been
think
doing
it-
this for so long, dealing with it for so long. He's tired, and he's like, hey, he's warning the other guys coming up, hey, if you guys want to do this, it's going to be a lot. I don't know. Like, he's basically just giving out a warning shot.
I
'cause
think it's the opposite of that, though, because he's been doing this so long. I wasn't thinking it from that direction, but he might be making some sense. He's been doing this for 20-something years, and he's dealt with it. Whatever comes with it, comes with it. He never really complained. Now his son is getting eaten alive with the media, and I feel like he's in his dad bag now, where he's trying to protect him.
Yep.
Because he's never talked about it this much up until recently.
I understand, but he ain't going to be able to protect his son because after LeBron's out the NBA, his son's like, I don't feel
but
like
what
he's gonna be
parent
too
don't
much
try to
longer.
protect their kid?
No, but,
even when they
but
know
I,
they can't.
I feel you,
I think it
'cause
goes beyond that. Let's think about just how the landscape of sports media changed.
There you go.
Because of LeBron. LeBron has elevated so many people's career. Skip Bayless made a career off of criticizing LeBron. Brian Windhorst followed LeBron around and wrote books strictly on LeBron.
LeBron, yeah.
And so if you think about, he came at the perfect time when debate, sports talk became big, and he was the subject of it every day. I remember waking up like, hey, if he played well, if he played whatever, I got to click on the TV just to see what Skip Bayless is going to say, because that's what it became. So why would he encourage anybody to live that kind of scrutiny? Because it became a different thing. Before, we used to talk about criticizing people's games, and it wasn't disrespectful the way that we talk. But think about the language that changed.
Social media plays
I was just
into
about, I was
that,
just
too.
about to say,
Social media
social
plays a big
media
part.
changed the game on these players and how they can move in their personal lives. So it's a lot that comes with it. We didn't hear about what Isaiah and those cats were doing in the locker room, and Kareem and Magic. You see everything that these dudes do on a inside, outside the arena, the cars that they drive, the restaurants that they eat.
But let's make sure that we understand what LeBron said, because LeBron said, I didn't run from any of the responsibility. I knew what I was getting into.
Yes.
I didn't ask for it either, but y'all put it on me, and I'm going to carry it. Now, I'm telling Anthony Edwards, I get it. Why you don't want to carry it, because
It's a different responsibility now.
Well, one, it's not even the same responsibility by any stretch. LeBron had to do more appearances or engagements or just be nicer with the league. But then no one was slamming the league. Y'all keep thinking LeBron is mad because of his son. He like, nah, y'all killing the game. So he called out the media, not social media, not what y'all saying about my son, not what y'all saying about me. Y'all killing the game. So why would someone want to be the face of the game? Because you're gonna get killed personally and professionally
Every
by being
day.
the face.
So the son thing, I think, was a very small part. I'm not saying that's why he's doing it. It was just an interesting point because I didn't think about that. But this is not new information, because it's similar to when Charles Barkley said back in the day, I'm not the role model. When they wanted him to live his life and portray a certain image because his fans and kids watching him, he's like, hey, I don't want to do that. That's not me.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like what's happening now. Anthony Edwards, it could be like how you said, you know, he got his own personal life things going on.
What do you got going on? I mean, baby,
you know, them kids he got.
He got kids.
He been dropping them left and right.
He got a lot of kids coming.
Yeah. He's a great shooter because he doesn't. He don't miss.
100% from the field.
It's been going on.
he shoots up the club every time.
Every time.
But, I mean, it's been going on.
King.
Hey,
Turned down nothing but my collar.
But at the end of the day, Anthony Edwards, even though he has that going on with his outside life, he still wants the max contract. He still wants to live that life.
Yeah, but
he still wants
that
to.
regardless,
He still
though.
wants to, and that's what's going to come with it.
Yeah, but
No,
I think it's different though. I think LeBron and KD has also spoke out about this. Like, they're kind of like the only sport that continues to poo-poo on their own players. Like, even when we think about like the comparison between like MJ and LeBron, like we continue to live like in yesteryear without fully acknowledging that like this generation has some players that can play. And if you want to be the face, you don't always want to get the critiques of Because all we're gonna do is we're gonna compare him
So what
to
do you-
Michael, Kobe, and this other stuff.
You can't critique the game at all. Like,
No, I'm not saying that, but like if you think about like the context in which LeBron and KD have been talking about, the All-Star game happened a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
And rather than celebrating the All-Stars that were there, what did we talk about? Oh, this All-Star game is horrible. It needs to go back to the 80s when they competed or whatever. Like, there's never a time in this generation where we actually celebrate this generation.
But
So
you
why would
also
wanna be
you
the
also
face?
have to change
Facts.
when you become
got something
when you
for
become the
both of y'all,
face. You have to change. And some players don't want to change, dude. They want to go to the same spots. They want to have a couple baby mamas and have you out their business and still be in the game, though, and still get paid the same way, still have your endorsements. But when you become the face of LeBron, you got to change. You got to change how
That's
you move,
a
how you
lie.
act.
Wasn't Jordan the face?
Yeah, but Jordan,
But it was different, though. It was different.
The
if you
knew Michael Jordan.
Had
The
his-
public
had
at
his vices.
large didn't know.
If
you
you
were
guys
in the
knew.
know, you knew.
If you-
So
and
there was two.
They
two-
protected Jordan. They protected his whole career. If you guys really knew the real Michael Jordan and how he moved, a lot of people
'cause he
wouldn't
was-
even like him.
'cause
They
he
would
was
not
moving.
like him.
He was
He
always
was moving.
You know what
He
I'm
was
saying?
moving.
He was moving.
Every-
In
I mean,
Chicago, he was moving.
He was
It was,
moving.
it was an
Chicago.
NBA
Jordans, though.
Yeah.
organizational move.
I got
But they didn't have
something for
social
both of
media
y'all.
there tracking and following it
That's
up.
exactly
So
right.
that's why you was able to shoot.
That's exactly
Look
right.
at this. You,
Well, times have changed.
you
right
brought
there,
up
man.
KD and LeBron, so I'm gonna give you something here.
Here
Both
comes
of
some
y'all-
hold on, everybody. Here comes some KD hate. Guaranteed.
No, there's no hate on him.
Guaranteed.
Oh, he
Both
doesn't
of y'all
like
worked in TV as analysts. You spoke on sports, right?
Host. Owners.
Okay, same thing.
Executives.
Your job is to speak
Producer.
on the players and performance in their sport, right? KD and LeBron will both pretty much, I think everybody would agree, have clean images. Neither one of them have ever had anything going on outside
nothing-
of
nothing-
The
sports.
burner account's the worst for
right,
one of
but
them.
nothing,
Nothing
no
salacious.
smut, nothing on their
smut.
name.
Nothing. And the fake allegations
Right.
of steroid use for LeBron.
Right,
like,
but
close. But
it's
nothing-
all
nothing.
sports related
Yeah,
stuff.
nothing.
Which goes to the point I'm trying to make.
Nothing.
Everybody that speaks on KD and LeBron literally only talks about their performance on the court. That's it.
No, that's a lie.
How are you getting
Cupcake
offended
is not
by
performance.
that? Well, it was based on sports. They felt like the
No,
move he
based on
made
the
was
move for
soft.
sport.
Yeah, sports related. They
I
felt like the
give you
move
that.
he made was soft.
What move?
What is that?
The way
Miami?
he changed teams.
But that's not
and all that.
performance. You just said performance. Now you're saying sports.
All right, so I'm saying sports related.
Yeah.
The feedback on KD and LeBron is always sports related. There's nobody ever
the
doing them dirty.
decision and
It's
Cupcake are
still
neither
sports
one,
related.
but they're neither one. You're
do
right.
it sports.
They're
Neither
sports
one
related,
have
but
to
you
do it.
changed it. You first you said performance.
All right, so yeah,
I'm not trying to
correct
lock you
no,
in.
no, I'm correcting that.
I'm
It's
just
sports
saying,
related.
like, let's debate this because
No,
I'm like, what is the line? Is that out of bounds? Is that unnecessary
but that's my
roughness?
But that's my point. Like it sounds soft, like you complaining about media, but the only thing that people are talking about is sports-related topics. Nobody's talking about their families. Nobody's talking about what they do in their
Whoa,
personal
so
life.
you-
It's
No
literally
gambling addiction.
right. We're not talking about none of that stuff. It's literally that people are commenting solely on sports.
But they're commenting
That's not a
in
true
an
statement, though.
It
excessively.
is. I'm talking about with them too.
Excessive or inordinate amount of negativity. So there's a lot of ways to cover sports. And I know because I've done this. When I like you or I don't know you, I can say, you know what? Man, all he's going to do is recover from this moment, and next time he's going to show up and be better. When I don't like you, I'm like,
He was
see, this
trash.
is
That's
exactly
why
what we
why.
all knew.
Yeah, like
this is who he is. He's
that's
always
hate,
been. I've been telling you. And you're like, that's the same dude.
Yeah, that's hate. That's just
Same
hate.
play. So that's not, forget fair. That's wrong. And LeBron is good to be the tenure, the elder, the man to say, hey, y'all doing the thing wrong, and you know
because it changed.
It changed.
It changed right as he was growing into prominence. Like the media landscape changed. It became more popular to be hypercritical, but hypercritical with sauce on it. Because you heard people start talking about calling people scrubs and he sucked. They never used to
said
talk
that.
about that.
That comes
in
from
the
social
media.
media.
No, that does not.
No, I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why.
no.
Because I'm gonna tell you why.
Please.
Because the commentators, analysts on TV, a lot of the stuff now is coming from things that's happening on social media. Even today, there's topics that we bring up because we see how people are reacting to it online.
Right, but
and it's like, oh, let's
but a
come
lot
in here
of
and
that-
talk about
so
it.
like let's go all the way back to game. The only person who used to talk like wild and reckless back in the day was Jim Rome.
Jim Rome.
Jim Rome started a genre that didn't exist.
Rome is burning.
And then when it came up, like, so we're talking about like 2008, 9, 10s when it started popping, when they started doing
Embrace
like,
Debate.
Like Embrace Debate, First Take, Cold Pizza was the original thing.
Yep.
And No one knew who Skip Bayless was until he started talking outlandish. And then I got to bring Stephen A. into it too, because they were the only ones that were loudly calling people scrubs and they suck and they don't have game. And it became louder, but the ratings came in. So that encouraged more people. That encouraged more people to
the
be
American
wild.
way.
I agree with you, but you know why? You said 09, 010. You know what else happened coincidentally around that time? That's when social media started taking off.
Yeah.
At the same
Exactly,
time,
that's what-
which is
that's
my
what-
point. I agree with what you're saying,
That's
but
what
a lot of
pumps
that
it up.
social right.
That's
social
what I hate
media is
about
what
some of these.
is
some of
why
these,
the landscape
some of these
changed.
analysts, they overdo stuff. They oversay shit so they can get those clicks, get that deal. It's like,
Sure, I
man,
get you
just,
on that.
And they set the blueprint for all these YouTube commentators too. So now YouTube kids or sports analysts follow the Skip Bayless blueprint.
Oh, everyone.
As far
Yeah,
as
exactly.
everyone
It's
is
getting
wild.
bad.
and you know,
Like I
all these
said,
players live
non-media
on.
people.
They all live on social media.
then-
And what happens when you're on social media? You listen to the bad commentary, but you're also reading the comments, which is full of evil.
Don't
so they
read
get
the
bombarded
comments.
by evil shit all day.
And so
you
I
turn
turn my
into
comments off
you
when
turn
I'm
into
doing
a
it.
reputable show like Inside the NBA, and you hear them shitting on you. That's what's happening. But they should be allowed to critique the game because they are ex-professional Hall of
No,
Fame players.
everybody should have.
Yes, they do because they care about the game.
No, no,
And
everybody-
that's
everybody
everybody
has-
hold on, hold on.
They shouldn't
Kendrick
have a
Perkins can't be
microphone
shitting on
in-
motherfuckers. Because Kendrick Perkins can't be shitting on motherfuckers.
He
I
can.
like
He
when he
played.
Shit when he played.
Yeah, I don't like when he
But he
do
played.
it.
Certain
played.
people
I
can
don't
shit
like
on
when he
people.
do
You
it.
feel what I'm saying?
I
That's what I don't
shouldn't.
like. It comes
But
to
yeah,
it comes to
scrub.
place.
Well,
So
all
in
right,
a spot
I
with
just
some
wanna say
people who
this.
can do it and can't.
No,
Kendrick
see,
be going a
but-
little
see,
too
but
hard
I
on
think
people.
he's
He's an
And he
NBA
ain't-
veteran. You
he
got to
ain't-
disrespect
He wasn't
I
that
think-
player.
He's
I
making
think-
a name for himself for his analyst. He's doing the analyst thing, making a name for himself, getting sound bites that
Exactly,
people
but he
like.
wasn't that
But he
player.
shouldn't have the opportunity to do it. I agree.
Exactly, 'cause
I
he
heard
wasn't
an
that player.
analyst say something
y'all
yesterday.
out y'all mind.
Wait, I heard an analyst say something
Absolutely.
yesterday, which was a great point. He was like, years ago,
Y'all are stupid.
you had people like LeBron and them, they were complaining because they're like, you got all these guys on TV who never played, but they're giving their opinion and feedback. We don't like that.
Yeah.
Now, you like Inside NBA, you got these guys who actually played and have the same feedback, and you complaining about them too.
Remember,
So
no,
which one is it?
I'm gonna give it
So
to
which
you.
one is
you
it?
ready? Remember before the show, I don't think the cameras were rolling, right? And Hatchet said something that was wrong about parenting. It's gonna be a topic we're gonna do one day. And you said, dog, what you just said is wrong. And then he cleaned it up. He said, I didn't say that other part because you're smarter enough to know that, right? So LeBron was smart enough to say what he said, and he thought people were smart enough to hear it, which
It's
was
a
this.
nuance.
I don't want anybody who didn't play talking shit. And then it was like, okay, well, Kendrick Perkins played. He's like, y'all didn't understand what I meant? I don't want anybody who ever played or didn't play that ain't as good as me to understand what I'm going through.
Well, that's
to
unfair,
talk-
though.
But
Close.
that's why he says, being the face of the NBA, don't do it. Because who's going to be better than Anthony Edwards? 2, 4, 5 cats. They not on TV. So everyone he's taking criticism from has not played or is not as good as him or don't understand what he's going through. So why are you talking about
are you
it?
talking
And
about
let's
it?
do this. Let me just do one more part. Stop adding up the social media part for these players. At least I assume. They read social media like this. Oh, man, these fools, man, if they knew. Right? Like they scroll, they don't like it. And I understand KD had a burner account because he didn't want to step in it. But that's not the problem. The problem is when the league is paying out licensing, they're paying out money for TV rights to people. They say, Draymond, we want you to host the All-Star Weekend, and we give you a mic, and we give you platform, and you shit on us.
The whole
Dog,
game,
We
the whole
can't
time.
do that, and why would I raise my hand to be the face of letting y'all do that? That's why I see it.
I think that sounded really good,
Damn.
but you overthought the hell out of that.
In what
I
way?
think a player like KD is not thinking about, oh, you got the licensing deal, and he's not supposed to be saying this. I don't think he's thinking that deep. He's literally looking
The guy
at
that owns the
what
boardroom?
people are saying to me.
The guy that owns the boardroom's not
That
thinking that
part.
deep?
That's just business. He's
No,
smart.
no,
He's
no,
smart enough
no,
to have
no,
it.
Hey,
but-
this is business
But
too.
this is business
Okay,
too.
so
Your
why did
body-
he? So you brought up the burner account. Why did he have that? You think he had that
Oh,
for
I
business,
know.
or he had that because he was
Insecure.
sensitive
No.
and insecure about
it's-
what people were saying?
Look, I was not close to getting a burner account, but I fully understood why I could and should.
yeah.
Because you're like, dude, no one's out there saying what they need to say in information, real intel, or cheerleading what I need to say. I can't do it because it's like anything. If you look fresh to death and you walk in this room, you know you killing it. You can't walk in and say, "Hey, y'all, look at me. Look at me."
Yeah.
Everybody like, You gotta wait for the approval. You gotta wait for the compliment. This is what I hated about high school. Tiffany Cambridge, finest girl I ever saw. I
know who that is.
Tiffany Cambridge, finest girl I ever saw in one moment in my life. 9th grade, wore heels, insane. And she used to get clowned because she knew she was fine. So then all of a sudden she was like, okay, I get it. That was the homie. She was like, I'm gonna tell you, I ain't gonna say nothing. And then everybody, oh my God, Tiffany's the most beautiful. But when she knew it and acted like it, they used to kill her. Same thing with KD. You can't act like you know it. You gotta let other people speak for you. What's wrong with a burner account?
It is weird.
It's weird.
Like, so the whole thing with KD, right, and the burner account is like, people say that like LeBron and KD, why do they care about what people say? But like, there still are people. I think what the bigger point is with LeBron is like, he's trying to let everyone know, if you're gonna be the face of the franchise, the face of the league, there's so many other things that you have to do. I can understand why no one is running to be the face, because there's an expectation, just like in politics or whatever. When you're the president, when you're the mayor, when you're the governor, how you're supposed to conduct yourself on camera and off camera. I think it's a lot, and I think he's saying, I see why no one wants this, because I can tell you from my own experience, as he's saying it, he's saying, I've had to do all of this other stuff. I certainly wouldn't want to wish that on anybody else.
Could it be that they're looking in the wrong place for the face? The face of the league should be Jason Tatum.
No.
Jason Tatum is
It's
one of the
it's
top
same-
5 players in the league.
It's gonna be the same
He
issue.
is
And he ain't playing the Olympics.
seemingly squeaky
games.
clean.
Oh,
He
I know, but
is a world champion.
oh, he is. But
He's sharp as a tack.
yeah, but
Yeah,
you know,
that's not the argument though.
Jason Tatum.
Jason Tatum.
That's
but
not the
Jason
argument of
Tatum
who
should be
Hey,
the
one of
face of the
best
league.
dudes I've ever seen.
Bates.
Am I wrong for saying that?
He should be the face of the league.
Talent-wise, he's
There's-
got it, but he don't have the swag.
How do you know?
got it.
How
No,
do you
he's-
Anthony
know?
Edwards has
Base.
the swag and the confidence.
Base. He's like-
It's natural.
Yeah, but guess
And that's
what?
the
If
face of the league
any
is.
of you all
Don't defend the swag.
don't think that Anthony Edwards is shying away because he's got 4 baby mamas by the
Oh,
age of
that's
25,
that's certainly
then
that
you are
certainly
fooling
has,
yourself.
That certainly has a lot to do with it.
Okay.
Because
So-
the 4 that we know about.
So
Yeah,
There's another 4 that you
Right.
Damn.
He-
I was
right.
about to say it.
Yeah,
You know how many
that's
kids
what
he
we
don't
know
have?
about.
Because he knows what we don't
He
know.
knows
And that's
what
why you
we-
like.
Right.
Yeah, I'm good.
And he
I'm
know-
good.
Right.
No, I don't want this.
He
So-
know what
So-
I'm about. He know what mentality he got too.
That's
Oh,
right.
He know what
That's
mentality
right.
he got.
The
too.
face- the
He
face
know
of
he
the
probably
league,
gonna keep
he-
messing up.
The face of the league should be a retired player, not a player that's present playing. It's a lot of pressure, you know what I mean, coming on that on his shoulders. It should be like Jordan, someone that's already done it, been there. You got to.
Why not?
Because the young kids don't care about that, and that's what
Really,
They
they
have
don't
to learn
care,
about
and
that.
all they talk about
They
is
have to
Jordan
learn
and
about
compare
that.
any player
They
to
don't-
Jordan.
But they
How
want to
many
see
pairs
it.
of Jordans
They want
do
to
we
see
got
something
in
right
this-
now.
I mean, it's
Whoa,
right there,
whoa,
Jordan
no,
Jordan
no,
right now.
Buck.
You talking about the
on.
kids?
They wanna see.
The kids don't
You're
talk
talking
about Jordan.
12-year-olds. I
The
know.
kids don't talk about Jordan.
No,
Kids don't talk about Jordan.
You're right, but
We do.
We don't.
They don't.
Okay,
But the kids don't
He's
spend
got a
the
great
money.
point. To grow the game, you need the kids.
The
You need
younger,
the next
yes,
generation.
They
right.
want to see him
Generation.
playing. They don't want to. They
Yeah,
can't
that's
see
not-
what Jordan
they're not
doing.
related
that's
to
great.
young
They got
boys.
film on that. They got
Hey,
film on
hey,
that.
Trip, keep drinking. You almost.
I got a question for you though. I got a question.
All right.
I just want to say this real quick.
Yeah.
Obviously, the easy answer is LeBron. But is he really still the face? Because I could argue that Steph has been the
They're
face for the
trying
past
to
couple
find
years.
the
Jason
face.
Tatum.
Oh, here's the thing.
Steph
It's an
shifted the whole
easy-
game.
No,
You don't. You
Yeah,
don't.
but-
You don't.
but
got-
LeBron
you
is
see
more
more
Curry
Tell the NBA.
One at a
Bro,
time. We
Jay
got-
Tatum didn't play in the first Olympic
I see
game.
more Curry jerseys
He
than
didn't play in the
LeBron.
first Olympic game. How you gonna be-
I hear you on the
kids.
Jason
So-
Tatum
But no,
argument.
all of those guys are. Oh, they're trying to find the next face. It can't
But
be
I'm just
Curry.
saying,
It can't be
is he
LeBron.
still
They
the
need
face?
something for the next
I
15
think
years.
I think he's always the face because it's always been like since he rose and became LeBron, it's always been LeBron versus blank, LeBron versus whatever. They've tried to make others overtake him, but he's been the consistent
I feel
presence.
like
Mark my words,
Steph
it's going to
took it
be
at some
Shea
point.
Gilgeous-Alexander. It's going to be the next
Nah,
face of the
you ever
league.
heard of
You
him?
got to
He
get
from
to the
here.
market.
He
You gotta
ain't even
change the
from here.
market.
And you ever hear him speak?
I've heard him
They
speak,
ain't
yeah.
gonna let
And
that
you
go.
got to go to you got to go to LA or New York.
No,
or
no, no,
Miami.
not. He's articulate. He's just not from here.
swaggy,
You
though.
can hear
He's
the accent.
He's
Yeah.
swaggy. He marketable.
No.
He's going
But
to be
he's in-
modeling
but
clothes.
It's like
But
Tracy
he's in-
McGrady.
But he's in
Tracy
OKC.
McGrady.
Then
Well,
Oklahoma
no,
City.
no one cares.
Oklahoma
Nobody's
City
saying,
lose,
like,
lose with
it's
that.
when they say
Now,
the
if he
face
goes
of the
to
league,
Mavericks
you mean
or
American
something,
player.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
See, I don't know if it can be
let
an
me say
American
this.
player though.
one, we got to get out of we got a topic out of this.
Yeah.
We got to get out of this swag conversation, because this swag conversation always leans to the person that is just a little more deviant, a little more belligerent, like the bad boy. Yes, it does. And who's the face?
That's two separate questions. You talking about swag? You talking about who's the face?
No, I'm
you
saying
gotta,
no.
you
We
gotta play-
eliminated Jason Tatum out of a
Shai
conversation.
Gilgeous is swagged out, but he ain't the face.
No. We said Jason Tatum could be this, and then you're like, no, he can't be because he doesn't have swag. I'm like,
but what swag?
He's got a lot of
That's,
swag.
That's important.
His personality's like
That's
cardboard.
important.
Jason Tatum's.
Yeah, compared to Anthony Edwards. Anthony
To
Edwards
be-
is a natural
yeah.
charisma
To be the
charismatic
face.
person.
Kids gotta want to be like you to be the face.
Was Michael Jordan
Swagged out.
time out? He did his personality, his public persona
Was
cardboard.
perfect.
But
Was
it was very
perfect.
charismatic though too.
Jordan
He
was
could talk.
swagged
It was
out.
very-
Michael
No,
Jordan.
we
Michael
assume-
Jordan.
The talk, he was swagged
We-
out.
wait,
There was no better athlete ever on camera than Michael
I'm
Jordan.
from Chicago.
That ain't
Michael Jordan was country as hell.
not on
when he got
camera.
him up in the
One at a time.
Not
Hey,
on
y'all,
camera.
We gotta go one at a time.
Michael
Amir.
Jordan was country as hell when he first got into the league.
But not on camera. He was the best
Yeah, he was.
athlete
He
speaking
was
on
sounded-
camera ever.
He sounded country.
When he
he
first
looked
got there.
country. He was absolutely country when he first got into the league. He sounded like it. He
You're a
looked
hater.
like it.
You
He
just
moved
don't
like it.
understand North Carolina swag. You're a hater.
Well, okay, right.
You're
I'm
a
from
hater.
Chicago.
I
I'm
know,
not
you're
from
a
North
hater.
Carolina. I'm
So
sorry.
you're saying? I mean, look, it was
He
perfect,
learned it. They
perfect
taught him,
timing.
but he
to
still had
perfectly,
it.
but perfect timing to perfectly manicure
Yes.
and perfectly
Executed
articulate
as
that
well.
that persona. But you can't do that now because you have to be authentic. We have 24/7 surveillance.
We know
on you.
exactly who you are.
You can't come out the house looking like this. This ain't gonna do it.
Right.
And,
No,
and
nobody knew that Michael Jordan was smoking weed every night. But right now,
Dry
Did
snitching.
we
No,
know that?
man, what you doing?
y'all don't know that.
No, you dry snitching.
Reportedly,
I don't need that. No.
we gotta say
I'm
That wasn't
reportedly.
known.
Reported. So listen.
Hey, he's not a
told.
jerk.
I'm so
He's not
listen.
a- he's not a jerk. I don't want this
listen.
to get picked up and you saying
No.
Michael Jordan.
That's
gotta put a
not the
condition on
soundbite.
We're gonna say reportedly.
That's not the soundbite.
Allegedly,
You heard.
You guys
supposedly,
know, you guys
maybe.
do know that the night before the game when Jordan would stay up all night and he was drinking and smoking cigars and that's what Michael did.
You said
and,
weed.
and he still went out and scored 35. Right
they didn't
now,
play till nighttime.
with
Shit.
social media, we're saying if Anthony
they were
Edwards
drunk.
goes and does that, there's going to be somebody saying, "Look at him out at 3 a.m.
Weed is
That's
illegal.
a bet.
Weed is not a
That's
tested
It's not the
drug
point.
in the
They're
NBA
going to
now.
say that you can't be doing that if you're the face of the NBA because the 12-year-olds see this and we
Luka-
don't want our
Luka-
kids to be like this kid.
Hold on a minute, Luka
That's what
does
they're
it.
all
Luka
saying.
does it.
Luka does it. Luka was on Rodeo
Luka
in the
does
playoffs
it.
before he gave the Clippers some work. He
Chill.
And again,
Hey, we wasn't on hookah.
the whole
We
point
wasn't on
is
drugs.
if Luka's going to be the face, he
Luka
won't be
Doncic.
doing those things anymore. That's what they're saying. That's what's okay. Anthony Edwards saying, "I want to live my life. I don't want to be that guy who they're gonna follow around after the game and try to get pictures of me with this girl or this party.
Let
They don't
me button
want
this up
that."
so we can get to our next layer of this because I think Anthony Edwards is smarter than people give him credit for because he's like, I'm already gonna get shine, and this is what's happening in all industries. Look at us. 10, 20 years ago, this would have to be at a major network or a studio doing this and having this whole like this wouldn't have been here. Now it's here. Anthony, like, look, I don't need all that structure and all that light that comes from industry. I just need to be me, keep balling, keep being me. And look how many commercials I already got. What y'all gonna do for me? So I think he's like, meet me where I am instead of letting me come to you as an entity. But y'all brought up Luka
long as them checks keep clean.
on Rodeo, right? He was on Rodeo
in the playoffs.
In the playoffs,
The playoffs.
hooked up.
Yeah, I mean, he was
Yeah,
Okay.
young,
trying to relax.
Well, we saw him last. Beating the Clippers.
Last night.
Last night, and 2 nights ago.
Hurts my heart.
Love to
All right,
see it.
just go
Love to
ahead,
see it.
Laker fans.
Number 2 seed.
Love to
Number
see
2
it.
seed.
Number
I
2
hurt your heart.
seed.
I like
Love
I've
that.
never
LA
seen y'all so proud to be
Lakers.
second, but
Love
go
to see
ahead.
it.
Y'all proud to
where
be
the Clippers
second.
at?
Not mentioned at all.
We
We
entered.
don't know. Who knows? Right?
This-
Back where they belong.
Okay, now let's not act like the Clippers didn't have like 18 straight wins against y'all. But now with Luka, I don't even want to have the Laker Clippers conversation because we're better than y'all
Straight
still.
wins. Well,
How many
before
chips
that?
they got?
Are y'all gonna do something this year? Are y'all really
playoff
gonna do
wins
something
they
this
got?
year?
No.
We winning it. We winning it.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Tripping.
I feel good about it, man. I feel like
No, you don't.
Luka coming to the league, coming to the Lakers. has given LeBron at least another 2 years of playing.
But
And
y'all
it's going
don't
to take
even
so
like
much.
LeBron.
It's going to take so much
Y'all don't
off
even
of
like
LeBron.
LeBron.
It's going to take so much. And LeBron, if you see it now, he's running out. Luka throwing them dimes left and right, and he's running. That's going to preserve his game. And they number 2 seed, they balling right now.
You know,
They
it's
are
LeBron's
balling.
got a lot of bounce.
They are balling. I can't lie.
They balling right now.
He's got a lot of
He
bounce.
always got bounce in February, March.
No, this is a different type of bounce because he doesn't have to carry the load on his shoulders
They
right
can
now.
hatch.
Luka
He's playing lighter.
He
looks
making it
relaxed.
easy.
He's playing lighter.
And Luka's not even scoring that much. All our role players are stepping in. We looking real good right now.
When Luka
We're
first,
just one big away.
when,
I'm
when,
always a Laker fan,
when they
man.
first,
I hear we. You from
Yep, I
yeah,
feel
when
it.
they when they first
Feel
when
it.
they first traded Luka to the Lakers, they said, "Oh, give him another year or so, maybe 2 years."
That's
they win
what
a
y'all
championship.
said.
That's what the media said. Give him this year. LA Lakers can win it this year, bro.
They can.
They got
Gotta be
chemistry.
the-
They got
gotta be the
chemistry.
first one.
Wait, hold on.
First one since got you right.
What'd you say?
And that
That's
makes a
a
difference.
crazy thought.
You're so stupid. The Lakers can win it this year. The ceiling is low, and that's not a slight to like, oh, this is a asterisk year. Dog, who could beat them?
Nobody.
In a 7-game series that you are convinced that it's gonna happen. Name them.
Dude, okay.
Everybody's like this.
Do
Everybody's
we-
up
do
and
we
down
not
on the
un-
West.
but we
Except
don't-
for OKC, and
It's
I
the
don't believe
Mar-
in them.
it's March.
The Celtics.
It's March.
The Nuggets can beat
It's
them. The
March.
game slows down.
Playoffs
It's
starting
March.
soon.
They beat the Nuggets by
Playoffs
23 the other
starting
day.
soon.
That was just the regular season.
Can we
give you that.
watch film for a couple weeks and start
said you
breaking
don't
it down?
watch
No, the NBA, the other right? We're gonna watch film on the Lakers, see what they do good, see what Luka's doing, and they're gonna
Really not gonna
They're
do
gonna
that.
have
The
an
game-
every team's gonna
the
have
game
an
is gonna
answer.
slow down in the
It's gonna
playoffs.
all slow down. Like
And all
it's-
them
you're not gonna
little
say this,
dudes,
see the same team.
All them little dudes playing out, they don't have a big man. They're gonna need someone to deal with Joker. Like until you can tell me who's gonna defend Joker in the playoffs, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
The Lakers got the
it
biggest
doesn't matter.
roster in the league.
Luka does well against Jokic, and it doesn't even have to
He
be
ain't
him
guarding
defending him. No, I know that's the point. Like he ain't even got to guard him. For some reason, he has an effect on them. Like Luka single-handedly beat my Clippers, right? Like insane. Kyrie's still there, but Kyrie was having some weird issues in the playoffs last year. This team right now, because they got 2 guys who obviously are top in the game, that
And don't
size.
forget white boy Kobe.
Who? Austin Reeves?
Yeah.
Austin Reeves.
I ain't gonna call him white boy Kobe, but
He nice.
He nice.
He nice.
He's nice.
I like
Just ain't
Austin.
Kobe.
He's nice. Is he gonna take over in the playoffs? Is he gonna be?
like
He's a
Austin.
good third option.
nice.
As long as he wears the headband.
It's all about matchups, man. Any team that has LeBron and Luka on it at the same time
Good
is
luck.
going to be a problem to match up.
Y'all
Yeah.
said the same thing
who's
about
going to
LeBron
guard
and
those
AD,
two?
and they
That's
keep
not
getting.
true.
AD ain't Luka.
AD's not Luka.
And
What
doing
is- what?
what
AD
y'all
is
the
not
same?
Luka.
What
Luka
y'all
carried
the
his team
same?
to the finals
What
last
y'all
year.
the same crew that just said that when they got Luka, y'all said Dallas was a better team than LA.
I
thought-
thought at the time.
This year, that's what y'all said.
There
Okay,
you
so
go.
now you're saying that you're not saying that.
AD
now.
hurt. Hatch.
I'm asking.
He
I'm just
hurt.
asking the question.
AD hurt.
I'm just
and
asking
now
the
that
question.
We've seen it. The Lakers are producing.
Okay,
So
so
now
now you're gonna
a
change.
week
your-
later-
so now you're changing
a
your
week
answer.
later-
That's safe
No,
to say.
That's 2 separate conversations. OKC right now is a better team than the Lakers. That don't mean I think OKC gonna win.
I'm just saying what
Ooh.
you
Playoffs is a
guys
different
said.
thing.
I'm
That's
just
facts.
asking what you guys said. You guys said
Playoffs
that's
is
gonna
a
be a
different
better
animal.
team.
That's
But
every
now,
time.
but now that you guys have seen the Lakers for 2 weeks, you guys are now saying the Lakers
They're
are the
all the
best.
way
Blah
in.
blah blah. So in another 2 weeks, you guys' answers go
They're like
change
Cowboys
again. That's
fans.
my whole point.
They're like
It's the
Cowboys
same
fans.
thing.
You can
It'll
only
be the
go
same
by what's
thing.
in front of you.
Somebody
Right
else
now,
is gonna get hot.
they look good.
I ain't
Do you
changing
understand
into
that
it.
somebody else is gonna get hot in the West? You guys understand?
I
that,
ain't
right?
You can't
changing
live off
to
of
his
ifs.
hat.
You can't live off of ifs.
It's a
Hatch, I
fact
ain't
that they're not
changing
going
to
to
it.
win
That's why
every
you ain't
game
looking
for the
my
rest
way,
of the
Hatch.
season.
I ain't
But you
changing
know what
to
else
it.
is a fact? They the 2 seeds.
Stupid.
Today,
So that's what
today.
And we talking about this today.
But
How
we're,
about
I thought we
this,
were talking
though?
about the championship run, though. We're not talking about just today. We're talking about a championship run. Those are,
And if we go
it
on
doesn't have
trajectory as the 2 seed as they've
So
slowly
they're going to
moved
win the
up,
rest of the games the rest of the year. That's what you're telling me.
you don't
on
have
a
to win the
six-game
rest of the
winning streak.
games to win a championship.
we're on a
Hatch, you know,
six-game
this
winning
is,
streak.
this is the time that
I
people
love it.
get ready for the playoffs. This March, April, playoffs starting what, like end of April, May,
Yeah.
June?
Uh-huh.
This is
Get
the
on
time
this
you
run.
get ready. This is where you get your
Hit this
chemistry.
run.
Right now, they're like
Yeah.
8-1 since the trade.
Yeah.
They are
Okay.
balling. So, yes,
First
things
of all,
can change.
now you are the reason that I keep getting texts, and sometimes I see in the comments. We need to start fact checking. They are not 8-1 since.
Whatever they
6-0
are.
right now.
Hey, it's something
6-0
close.
right now.
It's something
Whatever they
close
are
to
since the
8-1.
trade.
It's something.
You gotta know.
It's like 8-1
No,
or
no, no,
8-2.
no. No, it sounds
right now.
it
All
sounds-
8-2.
it
Alternative
sounds like
They're 6-0 right now.
it sounds like
I'm just
They
saying, say it if you know it.
Alternative fact.
But they 2-0 against the Clippers.
That part.
That don't
last week.
That
I
part
don't hear you.
matters.
As you
6-0.
sit in front of our mural, respectfully put some respect on the Clippers' name.
That's right. Move to the left.
Well, all y'all are. This is turning into exactly why LeBron don't want to be the face, because none of y'all are listening. All y'all just trying to get y'all points off. Ain't nobody. The Lakers have a shot. Everyone knows it. They don't have to be the number 1 seed to have a shot. Matter of fact, how many number 1 seeds really win it all? Like, that's something that we really need to fact check. That's not as many as you would assume, right? But it's going to be the key part of Luka in that addition. No one thought the Lakers were going to win it all before Luka trade, right? Now we really believe in that. So somebody said it before the show. Let's go here. Has Luka bought in? Has he lost weight? Has he looked like a different guy? He's not playing as well as he did in Dallas, but that's part of learning a new system. What we seeing from Luka? Focus.
For one, he has lost some weight, but you got to attribute that too. He wasn't playing for a long time because of his injury.
True.
Yeah, he's still getting
That
shape.
also plays into what you just said. He don't look the same as Dallas. Well, he was injured, so now he's getting back in his groove. But as soon as he got back, they winning. So if we got him at this point and they're winning, he's only going to get better from here on out. You know, God forbid injury.
Yeah.
So the trajectory looks like they
And
going in the right
hopefully
path.
LeBron's teaching him a little something, man. He's, hopefully
What's he
he's
doing? Teaching him how to stretch?
Teach him how to be a different pro and take
Teaching
care
him
of
a
himself
lifestyle,
better.
man. How to be a pro. How to be a pro.
What are y'all
How to
talking
be a
about?
pro.
Or hopefully
What are
Lucas.
y'all-
Or hopefully Lucas picking up on that.
Stop.
Stop what?
Stop.
You cannot
LeBron-
say that. I've been to a team where I went to another team and I got some other veterans where I'm picking up on new stuff that I ain't know, or I see something different. I'm like, hey, teach me that.
Facts.
Hey, let me see that. Hey, okay, that worked for you. Let me incorporate that to what I'm doing. So
You don't think he
don't-
knew about nutrition and eating right?
No, but
Knowing
when
and
you get
applying is
around-
two different
when you
things.
get
He's been a
around,
pro
but
since
when
he
you
was
get
14.
around guys
He
that are
was
doing the
7.
same thing, when
just
you
said
get
that,
around
though.
guys that are doing the same thing, you're going to get in and buy in and
There's
do the
plenty
same
of
thing
people
to get
doing
to
the same
success.
thing. Lucas just
Doing the same
choosing
thing.
not to do
Dallas
it.
might have had a different approach and a different scenery
He's
in their
only
locker room.
25,
Things going
man.
on different.
He's only
You feel what I'm saying?
25.
Yeah, but he's been a pro for
It doesn't matter.
but he
He's
was
only
always-
25.
It does matter, Dad.
You don't
it
continue to
absolutely
learn?
matters.
You don't continue
It
to
does
learn?
matter. He's been around seasoned pros his whole
But
life.
do you,
It's
get
a difference.
do you continue to learn as a 25-year-old versus a
Yes.
32-year-old?
Yes.
Okay, let me
you do.
say one thing. Y'all not talking to each other. There's too many conversations. All right, stop talking. Talk to each other, and then let's keep talking around
So
the room. With
the
each other.
fact of the matter is, the Lakers were winning before Luka got here.
No, but not like this.
Yes, they were. They had won like 5 out of 7 games.
No, but not like
And
this.
so they're continuing it. And
True.
his
They had a
stats are not any better than AD's stats.
But that's not the way. Okay, the conversation I'm hearing. Let me center it.
They just start.
Luka is more professional in LA. Some are trying to suggest because he's around LeBron.
We're hoping that.
Or hoping that. And
hoping that.
look, there's some results that say, yeah, maybe that's happening because he's healthier and he's looking better and the team is looking as good, if not better.
And you gotta understand-
So all that says is you can learn new things. Like, we are not finished products. You can be 25 and learn something that you should have learned at 14, but you didn't. Like, I want to hear you debate that.
I
There-
swear,
there is
hold
no
on, I swear
debating
your
that,
daughter,
but-
I swear your daughter from where she's at now to where she's at now, she's learning so much new stuff
wait,
in track.
wait.
You know, in track.
In track.
In track.
Oh, yeah,
where
yeah.
where she was from high school to where she's at in college, she's learning so much. She's picking up on some of the older guys' stuff and some of the older girls, older girl stuff on the team that's probably handing her stuff down, that's making her propel to go forward and keep getting better too. You know, it's the environment you get in. You know, when I was a rookie, I was in Minnesota. I was walking to a great veteran room. They say being a follower is not good. Being a follower is great for me right there. I was being a follower. Hey, y'all staying extra? Okay, I'm gonna stay do extra. Hey, can I hop in on this drill? Like, you know, oh, y'all gonna lift now? Let me go lift now then. What time you coming to lift tomorrow? Okay, I'm coming.
And
you know,
and DP, you're absolutely 100% right. But Luka is a top 5 player in the league, in the world, and he has been for
I understand.
almost
And
a
he's been
decade.
facing criticism.
Plus, he was a professional before he got here.
I understand that, but he's been facing criticism.
So he's more of an old dog. He's not a new
definitely
dog.
not an old
But he's been
dog.
facing
Yes,
so much.
he is a young
But he's been
dog.
facing so
He's
much
not an old
criticism,
dog.
and as an athlete, when you face that criticism and you get to a new start, a new fresh leap, you're gonna go in there more motivated. And I feel like that's what
early.
Luka's
That
doing,
doesn't
and
mean
it's
he's an
showing.
old dog.
Right.
You
He
know,
had
and it's
success
showing.
early.
And I think you pigeonholing him because here's the thing. You keep saying he's 25. He's been here doing this. Two important factors is one, he was the guy on that team. He came in pretty much they handed it to him. So he didn't really have anybody that he had to look up to or listen to. Second of all, they definitely did. Second of all, if he felt like he was the man and I don't got to listen to nobody and this and that, you see where that got you? You just got traded. And you lost out on a huge max deal because of that. So I think that was an awakening for him. Like, hey, I was moving like this. It didn't work in my favor. I got to switch it up. And he probably has a chip on his shoulder because of that.
You guys are being so logical. It makes sense. But
we're being real.
Who better to learn
Man, how you know, Hatch?
LeBron?
How you know, Hatch?
Right. You know as much as me.
No, I mean, I
Media?
really don't, because it's like you guys are not taking the personal, I guess, insurance of who he is. It's like he's still just a top 5 guy in the world who's going to do what he wants to do when he wants to do it. He's the first two.
Pigeonholing him. I just
But you
said.
never know.
You
He
don't
might,
know that.
He might fall back, but right now he's not doing that. He might fall back.
All
into
I'm
bad
saying
habits.
is it's been 2 weeks.
Did nobody see him go to the locker room in the middle of the second quarter?
Why?
He might take a
That's
shit
not.
or
That's not.
piss.
That,
happens all the time.
You know how many times I pissed in
Yeah,
the dugout,
that-
Oakland Stadium, during the game when the
that feels
defense was out there?
cautionary to me.
Well, I think y'all got to get more love than what Hatch is saying. What Hatch is saying is like,
cautionary to
dog,
me.
if you have that much success, and then the media, like the day before Luka got traded, none of y'all were talking about how much hookah and beer he was drinking.
Right.
Like y'all gave a damn. No one was talking about how fat he was. They was like, dog, when he getting healthy, he gonna give him more buckets. Then the media, this is the power of the media, made us all start to look at this dude like, is he doing too much processed foods? Is he is his carb load? And now we look at him different. And so now we like, and then he gets around LeBron. Oh my God, now he has
He's
the best
skinnier.
professional.
He's doing
He's
yoga.
looking better, and he's doing more. He's holistic. And Luka's like, suckers, I'm just gonna play, eat, ball, eat again, and keep balling. And I think, look, all of y'all been successful. All of y'all have been Luka in some form or fashion somewhere.
Yes.
Whether you were the top in your class, whether you kept killing this one course, whether you went to this one spot and used to always, like, you know what that feel like.
Used to always what?
Win. I was like, damn. All right, I'm married right now. I got to be good. So the thing is, we all been there.
Yeah.
And then if somebody come up to you saying, hey, dog, if I were you to go from top 5 to like the 3 or the 2 to 1, you just
should
need to do this.
Follow
I'd be like,
LeBron.
man, what you
Follow
talking
him.
about? Like,
Right.
You would never give him the time of the day. You might even be pleasant in his face.
Now this is where it does change in professional sports. Rookie to veteran.
Yeah.
Total different story.
Right.
This is not that.
And that's what
I'm just letting you know, this is the whole
You
Randy
were
Moss
young.
to Chris Carter
Yeah.
deal and that comparison, all that stuff. It's cute when it's a rookie, but when it's a grown man who's had success, and I got all my millions, I got all my chicks, I got all my everything I want in my life, it ain't that easy to influence anybody.
You know
to
what I mean?
do
Hall of
anything.
Famers, I know.
That's somebody that doesn't
Hold
want
on.
to get
That's what
influenced.
I'm-
Would he only?
That's someone who doesn't want to get influenced.
But no.
And we don't know.
But don't dissuade the other side that says we all know Hall of Famers that were damn near alcoholic, functional alcoholics.
Yeah.
Did they thizzle?
Did they think?
And balled out. And
balled out.
And
So why
everyone used to
stop?
tell them not to do it, and they were like,
I'm good.
The results speak
Monday,
for
So
themselves.
Thursday,
I would say
Friday.
this: what's the
Yeah.
difference
Sunday.
in the way that Luka has responded to his move to LA to what Jimmy Butler has done in Golden State? Normally, when you go to a new spot, you have someone that's established there. Your job is to kind of fit in. So it's still the honeymoon phase of him kind of settling in.
Yeah.
I want to fit in. I'm going to do everything right or whatever. Jimmy Butler is doing that in Golden State after being a malcontent in Miami at the end. We haven't heard anything, and people are talking about, oh, my God, like Steph Curry's like Gandhi. He has all these people doing this. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
At some point, though, the real Luka and the real Jimmy Butler going to show up. And then we'll see what it's going to be. But we haven't had any adversity. It's all
Preach, Buck.
it's all cookies
So,
and
so,
cream
all
right
right,
now.
so let's say the real Luka shows up. He got LeBron now to set him over that hump.
That's exactly right.
Let's say the real
That's
Jimmy
exactly
Butler
right.
shows up. He got Steph now.
That's
Set him
exactly
over
right.
that hump.
And that-
Draymond
Show
set
them how to
over that
win.
hump. Who they
Neither
did
one
that?
of them have won a
You know what I'm saying?
championship.
But
But
I
the real,
wouldn't-
you said the
I
real
wouldn't say
Luka.
that.
The real Luka took his team
I'm
to the
tired of y'all
finals last year.
killing
So
my
now
Lakers.
you got LeBron. That's why we going again.
Again, what do you mean again? When y'all go?
We got a chip a couple years ago.
That don't count.
That's like
Of course it counts.
Please, don't come on.
Of course it
Get
counts.
out of here. That thing
That's
counts.
like us going out. That's like us going out back. That does not count. Because it was the bubble.
Why don't we damn.
The bubble don't count. We ain't talking
What-
about
the
it.
bubble,
It's the hardest chip. It was the hardest chip to
The
get.
bubble
That was
does
the easiest
count.
one. Bubble
And
definitely
two, let's not be the room that says if you haven't
you know what?
won, you're not a winner. Dash. Let's not. I just don't agree with that because Barry Sanders is a winner.
Absolutely.
But Dan Marino's a winner.
Absolutely.
Like if we gonna play that, then we could go on TV and then do that
But
too. It
Sal,
doesn't-
do you? But do you?
Personal
Marcellus,
sales.
No, it's not. No, I didn't never want to win.
I'm a winner.
Marcellus,
Oh,
what I'm
no,
saying is-
I didn't care about Super Bowl championships, and, and people get mad at me. I'm like, dog, you can't tell me what the fuck I want. I outplayed you. Like that's the thing. I've outplayed everyone who's ever played a game of football, minus maybe 2,000 people. Like maybe two. Shit, not in 20 billion. No, but but it's like who? Like I'm sorry to say this, everybody don't give a damn about that.
But I didn't say
That's a
he
true
said
statement.
it. He said it. Lucas said.
Yeah, he didn't.
Lucas
You
said
said
he wanted
he
to
didn't win.
I'm saying championship level.
him how to win.
Championship level at a championip level. So Luka is
So
learning.
Iverson's not a winner to you.
I didn't say that. He went to the
You
finals
just
last
said
year,
it.
but he didn't win a championship.
He said he's
what
going
I'm
to show him how
saying
to
is,
win. Like
Show
Dwayne,
him how to win,
I guess
huh?
like Dwayne Wade and them showed LeBron how to win.
that's
I guess.
exactly right. That's exactly right. And Dwayne Wade won before him.
Dwayne Wade told LeBron how to win that.
Hey, bro.
He
Hey,
did.
bro. In this
He
moment,
went-
he
this
definitely
when you gotta
did.
Make the shot. You gotta make
that shot, son.
Right here so we can win.
Y'all two know that.
We can't do that. I don't like what y'all are doing. D-Wade helped him, showed him how to win.
That's exactly right.
You know it ain't like that.
talking about.
How? How? Okay,
And
no.
it's a help. It's the vibe and the help. He had extra help. He ain't able to. It's the momentum.
You don't think that LeBron would have won in Cleveland if he would have had Chris Bosh and a Dwayne Wade type?
Yes.
Yes, he
Yes,
would have.
he would have.
Yeah.
Because he had Pat Riley
It's the
coming down the
vibe
coach.
and the type.
I don't know. Maybe it was the room.
Y'all say he taught him. He ain't taught him. They went in there. It was a good vibe. Everything.
No, I could get a
everything
team
matched,
right now
everything
together, and we will win the championship. And I'm the sorriest basketball player you know.
No,
I can.
then
You give me 14 dudes, like basically an all-star team, and
Then
we'll
I'm gonna
win.
win
And
a
you be like,
championship.
oh, they taught me how to win, and I'm a champion, and I'm a winner. I ain't shit, dog. I'm just a dude on the team that won.
He left to go to a winning environment and then won. That's not a coincidence.
All right, so if I go to Chicago
started
right now,
kicking.
when does the winning environment evaporate? Because Chicago used to win all them championships with Jordan,
now
and
they
now,
They love when the players.
Yeah, but that, you talking about
thank you. So it's about the players. It's about
Right,
the
he
players.
went to a team that still had the same winning team.
Vibing don't win you championships.
So you ain't gotta be on the same page with your
Winning
teammate.
makes you vibe.
Yeah,
That's not true.
Winning makes you
But you're on the
vibe.
same page with your teammates, right?
That's not true.
Everything's
After
going
you
together.
win.
Everything's
When
vibing.
you're losing,
You're a
then it's
successful
all
team.
bad. I don't
Everything was
care who
vibing.
it is.
Everything was
You ain't
clicking,
never been
right?
on a close team that lost.
You could be on the
Yes.
winning
And you ever been on a team that has
start
issues and won?
losing-
Yep,
When
but-
you start losing, that's when all the
Oh, yeah.
issues come in. And professional
But that's not
sports,
true. Winning-
nobody,
you can be on a winning team, too,
nobody
that
wants
has
to go.
bad
No,
energy.
no,
Are
no.
you
I'm
graded
telling you.
on the championship
I'm
level?
telling
The players
I'm
graded
telling you.
higher.
Look, the most. Again, I think I said this before.
Lakers team had a bad juju.
The last one with Kobe and Shaq.
The
Kobe and
most.
Shaq won all them chips, not like
And it was
each
bad
other.
energy.
No,
on the team. That's
they
what we
didn't
saying.
like each other, but then even Kobe said, we knew what we needed to do once we
When
got
we
to
had
the
to do it.
playoffs.
Yeah.
He always said it like we were always on
Yeah,
the same
DP.
page in the playoffs. Now, we might be on some BS during the regular season, but when it came time to winning those 16, they knew what it was.
I got a question. In basketball, are players graded on the championships that they win? Are you look at
No.
it? If you look at
Charles
Carl
Barkley,
Malone and Tim
Karl
Duncan,
Malone, still
do you say
greats.
Tim Duncan is better than Carl Malone?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And
Not
he's also
because
a
of the
champion, right?
rings.
It
Not
wasn't
because of the
championship.
championship.
Not
Tim Duncan
because of
better.
the championship.
He was just better.
He was
Period.
better.
player.
My point is, people not in football.
Come on, Avery Rex,
necessarily-
give me a point.
Not in football necessarily because it's a lot of players, but in basketball, players are graded different. They're measured on their championship.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are.
So
Charles
Barkley-
Barkley.
Yes, they are.
Charles Barkley was great.
Yeah, but he's measured on that, and that's why he always talks
No,
about
no,
winning.
no.
And that's exactly my point.
People who are not smart are measuring.
That's not
those
true because
people.
Shaq does it to him.
And he,
That's a joke.
That's what I'm about to say.
and he
It's a
debates
joke.
the hell out of
Every
it.
time-
He
Every
debates the
time
hell out of it.
Barkley gets ahead, one of them, man. They always throw him back.
You never won.
Because it's a
Barkley.
No,
It's
they
a
always
great
feel like
It's
that.
great for TV.
always know.
It's great for
But
this.
they know too.
Behind
Barkley
every
know
joke
that
that's true.
hurt. Barkley know he ain't got that. He can't close a lot.
Okay, all right. Last warning. We gotta have one convo because I hear them all, and I'm sure everyone at home ain't hearing none of this shit. We gotta make sure we have one convo. Like, if you're not the person that's talking, shut the shit. Like, he's talking to Daz and everybody. Oh, look. Shut your ass up. You too. No, you don't. He's talking to them. Stop getting in all of them. We gonna have to adjust things. All right. You don't have to win, Daz. Let be a winner. Let me stop. Let's talk about this because this is interesting. Let's get to JuJu and Caitlin Clark.
Great.
Look, it's already set up. We know the obvious. Like, God dang.
Great.
Who's going to be the face of the WNBA? Forget the
Great.
NBA, the face of the NBA. I watched JuJu. Everybody, did y'all watch her win the Big Ten championship?
she's nice.
UCLA got 2 losses, and they both to JuJu.
Both to JuJu.
And it's real. She coming to the NBA. Like, look, I used to play ball with the dudes, and I used to get it in from all these LA parks I've heard she's played in. She just got street game that's polished. It's just insane, right? Who's going to be the face of WNBA? JuJu?
Caitlin Clark.
Huh?
Caitlin Clark is.
Why?
Because she represents what America loves and adores. So it's not only her game, but it's also the paint job. It's going to help her be the face of the WNBA.
Larry Bird?
Nope, he cannot.
Didn't
I can't.
Didn't
I
reap the
can.
benefits of
I
that
can.
as much as you
when
make
you go,
it sound.
just coming back from Indianapolis at the Combine. It is a barnstorming tour whenever the Indiana Fever roll through. Like, you can check the attendance numbers everywhere. Like, she appeals to a faction of the fan base that is always going to show up. As much as I love JuJu's game and all that, the people aren't going to support her like the others support Caitlin Clark. So that's why she will always be the face. Now, she may share the marquee with JuJu and Angel Reese and all them, but she's always going to be on the Mount Rushmore.
So every Batman needs Joker.
Got to have a villain.
Right? Larry Bird needed Magic. The NBA needed that back and forth. The Celtics needed the Lakers.
Yes.
Right? Caitlin Clark is probably going to have about 25 million supporters, loyal. JuJu is from Cali. She's about to take this whole California, these 40 million, and they're going to be rooting for her. It's going to be Caitlin versus JuJu for the next 10 years because JuJu is a better player than Angel Reese. So it can't. So that's what they were trying to build, but it's not working out like that. But this JuJu, I agree. I agree. But again, you still need teams to go against each other. Right now, what the NCAA is doing, right? We're gonna make sure we get this USC versus UCLA in the national championship for the girls, and that's just gonna roll over. It could be.
No, but like,
I mean, just
they'll set it up because if you really want to do it, you want JuJu to have
And
to
Paige-
deal with
Paige
no,
Buck-
South Carolina, because South Carolina are the villains.
Dame.
Yeah, whatever. But it's so
Well,
many-
yeah,
but it's a different.
something
It's a different
like
thing. But you
that. And they're
always
gonna
want to have
roll
the
that
arch
over.
rivals.
They're gonna roll
Yeah,
that over
I
to the
completely disagree
WNBA.
with you, Bucky. I think we've passed the black and white combo.
I'm not saying I'm not
to
not
the
saying-
green.
I'm not saying that it's a nuanced thing, but I'm saying whether it's black or white, and we talk about green, who is going to support whom? Caitlin Clark's people, they come out.
No,
they
they come.
always
JuJu's
outside.
to go come out though because she's from Cali. Though.
But are they going to always come outside when they go to New York, when they go to D.C., when they play Seattle?
They might.
Caitlin Clark's people show up.
The way
I
JuJu
agree.
plays, the way JuJu plays, her game and her style, she's going to transform the
sport.
WNBA game.
The sport.
She's going to transform the sport. So she's going to get the support because she's going to come and do some things that
Nobody's
Is he
ever
saying
seen.
transform or transcend?
Nah.
transform.
And you're supposed to say
You know.
transcend. That's what he's saying.
And who was what's the girl that done
Transcenders.
Brittany Garner, like Brittany Garner did for the WNBA.
Oh,
How
Brittany
she changed
Griner.
it?
Yeah,
Brittany Griner.
yeah.
What you do?
She dunked.
She dunked. She was the first.
She
girl
drop
that
step.
dunked.
She drop step dunks.
Yeah.
She was not the first.
No.
And she didn't do it but like 3 times,
No,
and it
she
was
was the first
boring.
to drop-
She was doing Statue of Liberty
But did
Lisa
off of
Leslie-
breakaways.
Did Brittany Griner do more for the game of WNBA? Like when she came, her impact when she came in.
I see a no. I see a no. Don't
It's
ask
hard
me.
it's hard for a big girl, like a big man, to be kind of like the face or whatever. I just think, and I love JuJu's game, and I love women's basketball. I just think Caitlin Clark has such a head start in terms of like, let's think about the last 2 years that she had at Iowa, then going to the WNBA. And then amid all the struggles where we talked about, oh, they're going to beat her up in those first couple weeks. And see, I told you she wasn't that. And then she finished as everything that she was supposed to be, and got her coach fired, and got a new coach, and they got a new team. So I just think she's always going to be there. We'll see if JuJu's able to catch up.
Well,
what you got?
First of all, it would be a travesty if the WNBA makes JuJu Watkins play another year of college basketball.
True statement.
That's on the table?
Yeah,
because they can't leave early.
Yeah, they can't leave.
She can't leave early. She got to
They-
do. She got to do her bid.
They
3 years
can't.
removed
But still,
from
you
high
can.
school, I
This
think.
is a waste of time for her.
No.
Second of all,
No, because she getting all that NIL. Every time I turn on the TV,
yeah, I
she
get
on the
it. But,
commercial.
but competition wise,
She ain't mad.
is she so ready? The
I
first
am not,
time,
coin comes before competition, even in the dictionary.
Because she ain't going to make any money in the WNBA.
Gotcha.
Just as
Understood.
Get your coin. Do
I
you really
understood.
want to give up this money to just go say I'm in the WNBA, or I know I'm gonna be there? So let's make
understood.
money.
The first time I ever saw JuJu Watkins play, I texted my boys in Chicago. I said, I just saw the best female basketball player ever. She had just transferred from Windward to Sierra Canyon.
Okay.
They were playing at Staples Center, and
there's another girl.
Derek
before her.
Mays' son was playing at Fairfax, and they all played in this tournament, right? And I saw JuJu, and I was electrified. I was like, literally, I hadn't seen no female move like that and
She got
have
game,
that
though.
knowledge and play
She
like a
got game.
dude, and her angles and her cuts, and she just knew the geometry of the game, which was wild. And I looked, I was like, this is the best female I've ever seen.
What
And
you
she's
thinking,
lived
Terry?
up to it.
Sarah, you holding on to something over there?
I think that Caitlin had a hell of a head start coming out of college with the media and her fan base. And I think JuJu has the same thing because she has endorsements. She has her own shoe. When she gets to the league, it's going to be hard for her to – Caitlin's like the LeBron in the league.
Thank you.
JuJu's coming in like KD. You know what I'm saying? So it's more, you know, she'll be a very skilled player, very respected, highly decorated, but I don't know if she can burst that Caitlin LeBron bubble.
Well, you know, it's like the WNBA is
can.
dealing with, like they're dealing with the same fatigue that I think voters are when it comes to MVP. We saw with Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson. It's a part racial, but it's part like, who else can we give this to, right? So they gave it to Caitlin Clark, and Caitlin Clark is like insanity to them. Like, oh snap, the WNBA, a league full of black women. A lot of them, we gotta know their sexuality. We don't get it. What's going on over there? Whoa, we just got a pure, normal white woman, and she is the best player, or she close to it, and we gonna ride with her. And then it's like, all right, JuJu gonna come. It's like, all right, I know y'all been rocking with all these sisters, but I'm the one. And then, you know, she's stoic. She's just about business. She ain't gonna be doing the Angel Reese, and she gonna get a population. But I think it's gonna be smaller, but not for the reasons of just simple black, white, typical stuff. It's gonna be because you got Jeremy Lin, you got Caitlin Clark playing basketball. Isn't that enough to just like say I'm the face and that's forevermore?
Yeah,
and she's good too. She's great.
No, she's better than
She's
Caitlin.
great.
She earned it.
Yeah,
She's better than Caitlin.
She's better than Caitlin.
better than Caitlin.
Like we ain't got
about-
and Caitlin is insane.
I was saying Caitlin's great too. Like she
No, yeah.
she earned her stripes. Like she took all the bumps and bruises early on, and she came out and she showed some heart. I respect that.
I feel like I see JuJu in more commercials than Caitlin right
Yeah.
now, though.
And again, it's
tournament time,
she's
too.
at
In
USC,
season.
right? She's in California, so she's getting just as much media attention as Caitlin Clark is because she's at USC.
But understand this, because we're on the perimeter, we're coastal, right? All those people in the Midwest, it ain't nothing to do but to watch her. So when we talk about like face of the franchise and stuff, when I talk about support, it's because she at Iowa, that whole Midwest region and all that, they all
got
rallied.
all that, yeah.
She locked all that in, and so it's very
Which
much like
is still only half of what Cali's bringing. Though.
it is, but it's all of Cali gonna travel to go see.
Yeah, Cali.
JuJu play the Washington
Cali
Midwest.
play, it's hard to get Cali people in the seats at Lakers games.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I agree with that, but I'm talking about.
I'm about to say
support.
certainly Clipper games.
And being
No, I'm
from
saying
Indiana-
like you come back from halftime, it's middle of the third
Yeah,
quarter
yeah.
before everybody's back.
and being from Indianapolis and the Midwest, like that's basketball heartland. So that's like the core group of
I think it's a
fans.
great. I think it's going to be a great rivalry.
Yeah.
I think if we set it up and again, hopefully,
I want
us
them to have a rivalry.
Me too.
I
I just
want
want us
that
to.
dynamic.
I wanted to keep it positive and not say they have to go against each other because they're black and white. And
I
want to keep
it's
that
a more,
out of it.
I think
you
it's
know
a
what
more
I'm saying?
I think it's a more nuanced conversation. I'm
right.
just saying, like, there are some people that gravitated to Caitlin Clark naturally because of the racial demographics and those things. But there are other people that really appreciate her game
basketball
and appreciate the struggle and all that. But there's a crew of women coming. Like JuJu's coming.
Yeah.
But there's a crew right up under her, Paige Buchers
Paige
and all these other
Paige is bad
like,
now.
Like there's a crew.
Where's that place in Watts where they play in the summer? Drew League. Yeah, they said JuJu used to be up there giving buckets to everybody.
Yeah.
Men, women,
Yeah.
kids.
Sure.
Just everybody.
Sure. Her game just keeps going, and her team, whatever team she gets on, wins and wins a championship. I'm pretty sure she could really surpass.
And she's a cute girl. Like
Exactly.
she's
And she
gonna
carries
be
Yeah, that
herself-
ponytail
she carries
locked.
herself- she
Hey,
carries
that's
herself-
gonna be a
What
thing.
up?
And they
What
were
up?
showing like other young girls with the pony,
Yeah.
with the
Well,
ponytail
like
and
let's
all that,
let's
man.
be real. That's also a factor too.
Absolutely.
When we talk about a league that struggled to get off the ground because sexual orientation did impact it. Like
Yeah.
my daughter wouldn't want to really go to WNBA games. She's like, yeah, I'm cool.
I'm
Scared of
cool.
those
But then when you see people that move like you move, you're more likely to do it. And the WNBA of late has done more of the stuff that the NBA has done when it comes to the walkout, showing the girls. The girls have changed their fashion
Dressed,
up.
yeah.
You're seeing
They
them
dressed.
dressed up. You can envision them like, oh, okay, like it's a different lane.
There's no greater moment than I was in Vegas and it was summer league, and I guess the girls were there too.
Oh, yeah,
If
they're out. They're out.
When you in a club with a 6'8" Russian woman
In shape like a mug.
and in shape, and she like no dudes talk to me because I'm just too big for most of them.
climbed them
And I'm
trees.
sitting there like, just hug me. I'm like, dog.
We climbed them trees
Dog,
now.
I ain't lying. I was like, I gotta figure out how we. And this is like 15. Like, how we go? Dog, I was on my LeVar Ball. I was like, how can I marry this woman and nobody know? I ain't moving to Russia. She was Jesus. She was the baddest thing I ever. Her thigh was like around my neck, and I was like, it was just so much lady. I was like, damn, this is
So
it.
much lady.
Like, this is everything to me.
There's three of y'all in there.
She was like, yeah, have fun tonight. Oh, man.
Little fella.
All right, let's fix the NIL. Or are we fans of the NIL? It sounds like some people
Love it.
weren't. They were like, well, no, don't try to say
I'm a
yeah.
big fan.
You just went from saying, why don't you hurry up and get to the WNBA and make no money to like she was
Well,
just
no, that was-
Well, let me ask the question. You first. Fan, foe, or fix the NIL because they just had the NCAA their highest revenue in 2 decades. They making money in college.
I am absolutely a fan and have always been a fan.
Hypocrite. Let me stop.
Not at all.
Different,
No,
doesn't it?
I want JuJu to be able to play in a different league than college. They're holding her back from going to pros. I'm not talking about her money. LeBron made sure of that when he put her in the Nike deals and in the telephone commercials when she was still in high school.
Yeah.
So he hooked her up with the money. So that's a great credit to LeBron too. But I'm talking about the NCAA is built on basically slave labor.
Oh God.
I mean, it is. They make
Is
billions of dollars.
Oh, first of all,
and then
slave labor was not paid in any capacity.
Okay, but I'm saying
I don't
We're,
get it.
we're supposed to be
it's such
smart
a-
enough to
I wanted to go
understand what
to
he's
college.
it's
saying.
such a small.
And I didn't want to be a slave.
It's such a.
That's why you don't say it. You just let it.
Right, and I said that knowing that. But I mean, basically, when you're not paying your labor, you get to make a gajillion dollars.
Yeah.
Now that these cats are getting paid, it's beautiful.
But they made record profits while paying players. So that goes
That
kind of
just
against
te-
your argument. Of
No,
saying
it
that-
just tells you how much money there is to be made.
well, yeah,
I
but it still goes
I think
against
there
your
are a couple
argument.
different things, and we'll see because it changes. Because I think it's important to distinguish and separate NIL and revenue sharing. What we've seen to this point is what is called NIL, name, image, and likeness, where guys can benefit from their name, image, and likeness. But what you have are collectives, meaning things around the program that are basically paying these players. What we're about to get are schools having to really share the revenue with the student athletes.
Right.
That's why
In all
all
sports.
of these sports are in jeopardy, the Olympic sports, why they're putting roster caps down and those things, because they're like, yeah, your sport doesn't bring any money. We ain't really trying to pay y'all. So we're going to put a cap on the number of people that you can have on your team. So track teams would go down from unlimited to like 40. Baseball teams would go up. So it changes everything. And I will say, like, I'm not a fan of that part of it. Like, I love the revenue sharing and that everyone is getting their part, but it's changed the dynamics of a thing where college is no longer college. No. College is minor league athletics. And I worry that a lot of our young people are going to get caught holding the bag. They may have short-term cash.
Minor league
there
athletics.
you go. It was already minor league.
It was already.
Without the dodo.
Short-term cash with nothing else. So I worry about that part. And
where are you guys on that? Like, there's a part of me that's like, yo, if your sport can't survive by itself, fuck it. And buy sport. But then, I love track, and I love my kids running track.
My daughter runs track.
Yeah.
In the ACC. But what it's going to do is it's not eliminating the program. It's eliminating the people who probably aren't competitive on the team. Ooh. So they're cutting down on walk-ons.
Get that fat
and
off.
People who actually, the coaches know are there just so they can say they were on a college track team, but they're not putting in the work. They're not putting in the effort. They're not competitive. And those are the people that are getting trimmed.
So here's where I have to come back, because as a dad of a kid who walked on to play baseball at San Jose State, when we talk about the walk-on factor and the opportunities, because when you think about all the people, the owner of the Phoenix Suns was a walk-on at Michigan State, and you think about how that experience benefited him and so many of the people in his ecosystem that saw that. So I worry about the opportunities, because, it's a great opportunity to play sports beyond high school, but when you shrink everything down and it becomes like amateur or pro sports light, it just changes everything that we've always talked about when we're feeding the stuff to young student athletes and stuff along the way. And maybe that's pie in the sky thinking, but I worry about a lot of people getting caught.
Yeah, you're living in utopia still. You're still renting an apartment over there.
There are a lot of people that are going to get caught holding the bag, and we're going to look back in 10 years and be like, yeah, that's great. You bounced around to 4 different schools. You made $750K. But now you have nothing, and you don't have your degree, and
no alumni base.
More than they had. And the people who benefit from NIL should benefit from NIL. All the players who benefit, because there's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then there's somebody that doesn't get anything that's on the team, right? But those players that get it, they should get it. And those players, that Ed O'Bannon, the Chris Webbers, all those guys that got ridiculed from that back in the day, now it's legal, right? So now it's a thing that they were saying it back in the 90s. And now we all coming to the table like, oh, yeah, that probably should have happened back then. So it should have happened, and I'm a big fan of it.
I wish it would have happened.
Well, it
happened.
Get paid?
Man, a little flight.
You ain't gonna tell the truth.
Under the table.
A flight here and there.
Well, that's paid.
I mean,
that was something to get me home, because they knew if I got too homesick, I was gonna be up out of there. So they knew what they had to do.
Reggie
I had
Bush,
to
what
come
they
back home
did
to
to
LA.
him?
Yeah, but again, it's the same thing. We can go back to, okay, well, now that weed's legal,
right,
and that whole conversation, but
Yeah.
it's not. It's different. It's 2025, right? So all these college students, they're supposed to be getting paid. This is part of it. This is not to go to school anymore. This is not to even go to class anymore. I don't even know why they make these kids go to class.
the students aren't even
student
going
athletes.
to college. Like,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, people don't even want to go to college now, because they're like, man, I ain't going $400K in debt for you to have an alumni network for me.
And the parents looking at the kid, okay, yeah, you've been here 3 years, now you want to drop out, and the parents paid $200,000 for tuition. So this whole going to college thing is going away. So they have to make it friendlier to keep people interested in going to college, and sports is the only way to do that right now.
Man, I hope it doesn't go away, because I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Like, one of my biggest flexes is I went to Columbia. I like fuck. And now I'm like, yeah, cats don't care about it anymore. I remember I got into one of the biggest debates online where people were like, college doesn't matter, and you going to Ivy League school, you're no smarter than me. I was like, you dumb fuck. Like, I'm way smarter than you. No, I'm for real. Like, if I went to Alabama and played football and you walked on at Long Beach Community College, who better at football? You may say, well, I don't know. Let me see him. And I'm like, I don't want to see him. Right. The one that went to Alabama. And I don't think that's absolutely correct. But I will stand on that 10 toes down.
But you're talking about physical sports, not your brain of being smarter than somebody.
Well, I did get test scores higher than them too, probably.
Okay, but and again, because what they're saying is, I have a 16-year-old over here who's getting $10 million a month off of YouTube.
Yeah.
I don't have to go to college because he's smarter in whatever lane he's
You're right.
at.
And you're right. And that was the
But those are also the outliers because
course,
everybody
yeah.
ain't making $10 million off YouTube.
Of course.
Yep.
So
but
like
they're,
if you're
but they're
if
definitely
you're
making more than going into
right,
debt.
but if you're elite in anything,
You're gonna make
you will
money.
always find your path.
You find a way.
But if you're with the commoners and the regular folks, like, look, it's going to be more difficult. And so when we talk about this college conversation and going to college, like that debate is escalated, whether it's like value in going to college or whatever because of the high cost of.
That's a conversation.
Do we have that value still?
No.
Like, am I the only one judging people still based off of college?
Oh,
Yes, you are.
I 100%.
You still do?
I 100%.
I know I do.
I do
in
not.
sports And
I do
in
not.
academics.
In everything.
I
I'm
do
looking
not.
at where you went to school.
Yeah.
No.
I'm looking at all of it.
No.
So to me, it always.
But you can
always
move.
mattered.
I look, you're not in concrete in my judgment. Like, that's just my initial. I'm like, oh. Like, it's like this. Somebody, how many times you met a girl, she's talking about, I model. You're like, oh, what you been in? And she like, well, and you're like,
Right,
oh, well.
right. Don't tell me.
So
Don't
okay,
tell me.
so here,
Don't tell
here's the kicker though,
I hate
right?
when people don't judge. I'm like,
If-
come on,
if
it's
you're-
okay. That's why I'm working.
If you're talking about what's your measuring stick? If we're talking about money, right? You're talking about the entrepreneurship, that side of all these billionaires. They were the C students in high school. They didn't want to go to college. They weren't straight A kids going.
What the fuck
I
are you
can,
talking about?
I can.
No, it's not.
It is a fact.
That's
What
an
are you
outlier
talking
fact,
about?
as
No,
Bucky
that's
It
said.
is a fact.
That's a real. That's a real
These
stat.
billionaires are dropouts from Harvard.
Yeah.
They're not dropouts.
All of them?
Not from
All
Harvard.
of them.
Yes.
From
Like,
Harvard.
like
Harvard.
like
If you look
like
it up.
Facebook,
Like Zuckerberg is a dropout from
Harvard.
Harvard,
Gates-
that's one.
Gates.
Hold on, no.
Right.
All these kids.
But Gates had a dad that set him up. Like it wasn't.
I know.
Like,
That's what I'm
like-
saying.
like they were-
I know.
These guys were set
They
up. It
didn't go
wasn't
to
like-
college.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
They didn't go to college.
They were smart
So-
Harvard
on the
dudes.
scene,
Right.
But they weren't. But
They were-
They didn't
they were-
care about going to college. Is
Well,
my
they
whole
did
point.
care
That's all I'm
about
saying.
going to college. They found something that could get them out of college.
Which that's what everybody's
They
doing.
cared
now.
about
Lauren,
going
like
to
Lauryn
college.
Hill did at
Yes,
Columbia.
that's what
She started
everybody
acting
did.
and
Right.
singing.
Yes.
She got into Columbia though, and then Lauryn Hill disappeared to act and do all that other stuff.
I don't think you could judge people based off where they go to college because it's a choice.
Where'd you go to
could
school?
Get a college. I went to a school called Hofstra in New York.
I know Hostel, son. You
Yeah,
finished?
with the Jets
Don't
was.
sound like you finished. I
No,
can tell.
I mean, I got
the
my-
way you,
You
the way,
No,
the
no,
way you
look,
said it.
look. Now I'm gonna tell you what.
I'm not judging
I
you.
got my associates right, and then I kept going. Then I got to a certain point where I was like, "What I'm doing in
Don't
life,
say
I don't need
associates.
this."
Don't say associates
No,
in front of
no,
him. He go clown you.
Just-
No, but I'm
He go
saying this.
clown
I'm
you.
saying this
Everybody,
for a point.
include
I'm saying for a
myself.
reason.
Just has his Rolls Royce degree.
He,
So
he
that
have a Rolls
he
Royce.
won.
But it goes-
he did a Zuckerberg. He dropped out
But
because he
that-
knew he had a path.
But there's my point of where I wasn't gonna say that, but it plays into what I'm gonna say.
You think
I
we
don't judge
know?
people based off of college because it's not
people
everybody
at all.
doesn't
How
look
about
at college the same way. So you might judge somebody, oh, you went to this school, that's cool, but somebody else could have gotten into that school and just chose not to go there.
Who?
Anybody.
I'm just
You,
using an
nigga,
example.
you.
Harvard didn't recruit me.
It's a new.
But my
it's-
point is, everybody doesn't look at college the same way. Some people don't
especially
care
now.
about
But I don't
college at
care
all.
how you look at it. It's supposed to be looked at this way. Like it's
No.
like, oh,
Who's,
everyone.
but who's
Not
to say
anymore.
it's supposed to be? It's a different
changing.
day. Like that's
Not
old
anymore.
school.
Changing.
No,
It's
no,
not like that now.
It's look. Let's not confuse it or conflate. You can be successful without college. We're saying that.
No,
but your chances of going to college and being successful increase. You don't say that?
I don't think so anymore.
not anymore.
I don't think so
You want to know
anymore.
why?
It's
Because
changed.
I ain't saying you can just get a job after college. I'm saying if you're gonna go
Y'all have
upper
lost your mind.
echelon,
No, I'm
or
around a lot
dude,
more
there
kids
are
than you
there
got. I'm
are
telling you.
companies that don't even look at you if you didn't go to these schools.
But you talked about
That's
you
a
talked
small group.
And those are big companies.
episode past, you talked about a social media person buying a house up there that you.
Oh
were
yeah,
like,
the
what the hell?
young influencer.
Right,
And you know who else?
influencer.
All her neighbors on the rest of that street
No
are
clue.
college grads.
But my point is, that's exactly
but
right.
I'm saying, look
That's
where-
exactly
only one of it
right.
is.
So that's my point.
Look,
That's my
I'm
point.
the only athlete on this street.
But that's my
And
point.
you're a
The
college
rest
grad.
are dentists.
My point is,
Headmasters in
doctor.
schools.
But that's a different conversation because we're not talking about if you went to college or not. You said you judge people based on the school they went to.
Yeah. No, there's two conversations. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
All right, so the first one, you got to go to college. The second one, which college you go to?
And that's what I don't know. That's the part I was
that-
debating.
yeah, you
of
should
where,
do that.
where you went.
You look real bad for that right now.
Yeah, for where you went.
no, I don't think. I don't think
Because
people.
I'ma say
People
what?
judge. No, people judge.
I just say this real quick because it plays into the conversation we had a couple of weeks ago. We was talking about the HBCUs. You could have gotten into a Columbia and you could have gotten into, let's say,
Langston.
Morehouse or wherever.
It's a different-
Somebody,
You talking about some guy?
somebody
And I-
could. I'm just giving a generic example.
Yeah.
Somebody could say, "Yeah, I'd love to go to Columbia, but I want that experience of going through a HBCU.
And I would
It
choose the
doesn't mean that they're any
HBCU first
lesser.
and go to Columbia for a grad school all day long.
It doesn't mean they're lesser
'Cause you
because they
can't
didn't
get
go
that
there.
back.
They just chose to go to other ones.
that pool of guy who got into both and went to Morehouse
Very small.
is
Or
small.
Howard.
You know what's even smaller?
Smaller, yeah.
The Morehouse guy that got accepted to Columbia.
No, it's
And
not.
the-
Yes,
It's
it
not.
is.
That's not
What?
smaller. People
Nah,
go
and
to
then-
undergrad
and
and
then
go
they
to
chose
and
Morehouse?
go to no.
It's
People go to
smaller. I agree with you on
undergrad
that.
and go to grad school in Ivy Leagues all day from
time.
HBCUs.
That is
Oh,
true.
All day.
Yes, because you know what? They didn't get
They didn't
accepted
get
to
in.
undergrad.
Right.
Whatever.
Like, it's okay, dog. It's okay. 4.0, 1,600 GPAs. Ivy Leagues be like,
wanna-
move.
he wanna brag
What else you
so
got?
bad.
What else you
That's a
got?
different argument. My point is, it's the game has changed.
The
No,
game
I
has
agree.
changed.
The game
I
has
agree.
changed, man. The game has changed. So the way of thinking of looking at somebody's school and where they went and what that game is, the model perspective, right? That person might not have been in anything that you know, but they are IG model and they getting paid. They getting paid more than the people that you know that are on TV.
I still would look at somebody differently who's in Vanity Fair than the one who's in the club in front of the airbrush picture. That's just me, though.
Well, and again,
Yeah.
You told me, like,
The club airbrush ain't model they know.
A cover of Vogue means something.
but if you
Y'all raising y'all kids like this?
you gotta
Y'all raising y'all
You
kids
gotta
to say,
take
just
in-
figure it out, girl or guy, and you good? Or you gonna say you ain't trying to go to college? You ain't trying to go to the best college out there? Like,
No.
you look, we all got athletes. You ain't trying to get your kid at least get a letter from Alabama?
But
Like,
if you look-
what
if
are we
you
doing
look
now?
at- if you look
Oh,
at
it's
the
okay.
lands-
You can make the league anyway.
But let me
you
ask you
look
this:
at- hold on.
if MJ wasn't playing sports and he said, "Dad, I want to really focus on this gaming system. I want to be a gamer,"
I'm all in.
you all in?
But that's
Yeah.
not-
You
that's
don't
not
have to go to college
And
to
I
be a
also
gamer.
have it swallowed. He just cut off some of his opportunities, and his success rate is going to be less because he doesn't have an overall perspective. He's going all in on one instead of going in on some. You go to college, you figure out what you want to do. I majored in this and end up being that.
Sure.
You met someone who's going already good and like, I got you. We go, like you, MJ. You can still kill it. I don't want you to come back and say, "Told you, Daddy, I'm making a lot of money on YouTube." I was like, "Yeah, I knew you would."
Right.
But you could have done other things
But
too
it's
that
also
are not there.
But
now.
that's fair.
It's
That's
also
fair.
like when we talk about college, it's not just like the academic part of it. It's people talk about the network and do you want to pay for the network, but when you sit around great people in great industries, you never know who you can meet that's going to help you along the way. Being able to pick up the phone and be like, "Hey man, you remember? Oh, go, I got you. Go holler at my man, and I'll take care of it." So I think it is some of that experience that you're paying for, the network that you want when it comes to dealing with college and where you go to school and all those.
Look
other
at Buggy just got off that Southwest. He's like, "Oh yeah, somebody just."
I think it also.
Who boarding? Ain't nobody boarding right here.
I think the biggest thing too, it always depends on what you're trying to do in life, like what your career choice is. 'Cause
True.
If you're gonna be a lawyer, you're gonna be a doctor, then yeah, where you go to college probably plays into that. But everything else on the
When
average.
did you learn that you wanted to be what you are? You didn't
After college.
like my sophomore year in college.
sophomore year in college.
So I was like, I'm gonna get this associates, I'm gonna do it, and then I'm probably not coming back. I started my junior year, but then I left
So you
like
found
halfway
a
through.
path that got you
Yeah,
out.
because I realized I didn't need college to
That
do
was
what
his
I
point.
wanted to
Do
do.
that.
And so that's what you're talking about. And then the
But
other
I
thing,
never wanted to go to begin with, to be honest. My mother was like, "No, you got to go to college."
because that was in our community, that was the way
That's
out. Like
what
if you
she
go
was
if you
But
go
now
back,
that's
if,
not the way out.
I still disagree with that. I still disagree.
numbers?
In
I think
terms
it
of,
is.
I think like education is always the basis to try and get out as much as you can. Now it requires you to either, if you're not going to go to school, then you got to be great in a trade and have a skill. So when we talk about whether you're a social media influencer, whether you're an electrician, a plumber, or whatever that skill is, you got to be in the top 10% of it to be great. If not,
and
you're
he's a
not gonna make money.
contractor,
Yeah,
right?
and so that's the thing. Like when
Yeah.
you pick a trade, whoever that was it Booker
Best
T
investor,
or
yeah.
W.B. Du Bois used to talk about like the talented 10th and developing the skin. It's all the same thing.
I
Yeah.
just think you're
Damn, I hate this world that you can't even like have objective like.
No.
Dog, go to Ohio State. Oh, who cares? You're not that good. I mean,
Wait,
a lot of them turn out not to go to the pros, but to go to Ohio State to play football used to be solidified.
You gotta-
You
you
a
gotta be-
dude
you
from
gotta be
high school.
certified.
But it's because again, you're taking that and comparing it to going to Harvard and Columbia and saying you have to be the same way academically, but you don't have to be, because again, right now, academic Harvard, Yale, all these, you can have a 4.4, 1600, and the people look at that like, man, I'm going to take a 4.1
It's hard.
with somebody
It's hard to
who's
get in.
doing other stuff in the
And that's still
community.
a 4 though.
But I'm just saying.
We didn't say 2 points.
But the person who had, don't forget, the person who's being brought up to say, do it this way, this is what's going to get you to Yale and Columbia, they're thinking all academic. It doesn't. Success is not linear like that anymore.
You're right.
So that's why I'm saying,
But
like,
to
you got
what
to,
degree, I don't think any of us have the educated answer to what degree. It's changed. They've cut off. They've cut off the Harvard, Yale. It used to be just Ivy Leaguers, and then everybody wasn't even as smart. And then that opened up, and now we know there's intelligence everywhere.
I just went
Just went through
through
it, like they talk about the public Ivy. So they talk about the schools that are pushing it. So you talk
Vanderbilt.
about Wisconsin, who no one knows.
Northwestern.
Texas, all this, no.
I know they say that. You're right.
I'm telling you, like
Hell
how hard
no.
it is.
Yeah,
How
I
hard
know.
it is to get into Michigan in these schools that
Hell no.
have those reputations.
Keep going.
You're a
I
snob.
judge people. I'm like,
You're
I am an
Ivy League-
elitist
you're
when
Ivy
it came
League
to
snob.
two things:
Yeah,
sports,
and
sports, and look, I
academics.
was on the low end on the sports. I went to Columbia. I hung out with all my boys who went to Florida State at the time. They were going to Cal. They going UCLA, USC, and I was like, yeah. And I found my way, and a lot of them didn't make it. But the flip is also true.
Yeah.
I went to Columbia, dummy, and then you went to that school, and then you all of a sudden a CEO. I ain't mad at you. Like, I like competing like that.
You went to Columbia, what?
Dummy.
I want to ask you a question on that. So wait, real quick. When you judge based on where somebody went to school, do you look at all Ivy League schools the same way, or do you put somebody who went to Harvard?
So if I'm
above Columbia?
Harvard, Yale, and Princeton.
I need you.
What
about Princeton is my favorite though.
The reason why I asked you that
is
is because we also just talked about. He brought it up. Somebody can get a 4.4 and apply to Columbia and not get in. But what if they applied to Columbia and Harvard and
Brown.
Yeah, let's say they got
Can
into
I get to Brown? Would you love me if I go to
they
Brown?
applied to Harvard, had the GPA to get in, but ended up going to Columbia instead. Does that mean they're any lesser? Like, they were good enough to get into Harvard, they just didn't get selected.
Yeah. Oh, well, I don't do that micro of analysis, but I can.
That's what I'm saying. That's why you can't judge people based on where they went to school.
Yeah, I can, because I can do a macro analysis.
It doesn't mean you couldn't get into.
Hold on, this is a pass-fail first, and then we can get into grades. Pass-fail, if you went to Hofstra, you did? I don't think you're that smart, but you did. Are you Hofstra? So why you? I'm not insulted by Columbia. Yeah, I know. I'm messing with you. Columbia, if people are like, it ain't Harvard, I'm like, okay, I'm not Columbia either. Like, I'm more than the brand, or I'm less than the brand. But I do go like this. I'm like, if you went to an Ivy League school, I think you're damn smart. I may be blind. That's why I'm talking about it. I'm vulnerable. Then if you went to like Stanford and MIT, Caltech, I'm like, you might be smarter than the Ivy League cats, right? Like, wherever there.
Levels to it,
then
right.
it's like, you went to Langston, man, stop,
Whoa,
man. Like,
you see,
Ivy League.
see how he do us?
No, Stanford's not Ivy League.
Stanford's not in Ivy
No.
League.
No.
I always
No.
thought it was.
No. They play.
See, to my point, why Hofstra's not smart.
The Ivy's, it's only
Yeah, you
never
kind
cared about
of. Yeah,
college.
you kind of just. Yeah, you kind of
No,
killed
but I
it.
said from the jump, I never
It's
cared
only
about
like
college.
9.
It's
right?
only, you're not smart. It's only 8. Let me stop.
I thought it was only 9.
No, it's
I
only
thought
8
it was.
and 8.
I knew it was 9, but I thought that was one of
It's
them.
a snobby conversation that I love to have with my friends.
You can't have it with us though. You
Why?
can't, because if you ever
none of
say
us
that
is Ivy
about
League.
Langston ever again, it's,
Who
we
went to
done.
the best football school here? Damn, not you.
Bucky?
No, Bucky.
Bucky.
Hey, not you.
Carolina.
I'm at
North
the
Carolina.
bottom. I love talking
And
shit
that's
from the
not
bottom.
high.
Because nobody want to come back
It's
and say,
just in this room.
I went to Nebraska.
I went to
Nebraska,
Illinois.
man. That's the best football school.
oh, you went to Nebraska.
I went to
Over North Carolina?
He ran track in Nebraska, though.
I'm gonna say Hofstra.
You ran track there? No.
only on our sophomore year. I mean, our freshman year.
It counts.
Damn, you used to run track? Shit.
It counts.
Shit, I can't. I went to
Okay,
Illinois.
Tom Osborne and what's the boy?
Pull the mic up, Trip. Tell him.
Had to be
Pull the
Tommy
mic up.
Frazier. Had to be Tommy
Put that
Frazier.
mic to your mouth.
Lawrence Phillips.
Lawrence Phillips? Yeah.
Frazier?
Rest in
Frazier.
peace, LP.
You know he ain't playing no sports. He talking about who you went there with.
Yeah.
For sure.
Say, you
For
say, I
sure.
played with such and such. That's what you would say.
Intramural
Yeah.
sounding ass. You know, all right, let's get into this because this is interesting. Man, I'm glad I'm a snob to y'all. Steph Curry, he dunked in game for the first time in
Done.
6 years.
Done.
I didn't know that. That surprised me. And he said he ain't doing it again.
Facts.
Probably the landing got him. Like, when you get older, them joints and them bones don't work the same, right? But I wanted to ask, because Steph obviously has splashed in this era of three-point shooting. Did he make three-pointers more exciting than the dunk?
Yes.
Because yes,
Single-handedly.
I wrote it down and I said there's no
100%.
way someone's gonna say yes.
Yes.
No.
Single-handedly.
100%.
No.
1,000.
Let's go.
I still love seeing somebody get their ass dunked on.
Yeah, but
Dunk on
that's
and
not the
dunking is two
question.
different things.
That's what
I got
that's
you,
what-
okay.
yeah.
Why we got the 300-pounder
I got
eating
you.
while you talking right now?
You say Dunkin' Donuts?
Don't talk about his weight. He don't like that.
God damn, I'm chewing.
He
gum.
go, you like, look, no, you
I
did.
want to dunk this cookie in this milk right quick.
Hey,
Calm down,
Steph
dog.
Curry's
That's too
got
on brand.
kids shooting half quarters because of Steph Curry.
Yeah.
Steph Curry got everybody thinking these kids
Yes.
can shoot.
Yeah, I
like
agree. He changed the game.
He changed the 3-pointer.
What do you
Steph,
shoot?
wait.
What do you shoot?
Half
Steph?
pointers.
half pointers, half corners,
Shot half pointers.
half pointers.
Half pointers.
Hey, let's go back to the Ivy League conversation. No, what is a half pointer?
You know what
Half a point.
Half quarters.
Half a point.
Oh, like when Stephen A. scored in college, remember they said it was like,
He averaged half a
he averaged like half a point. I'm like, what? What? No, for real. No.
I'm saying he have kids shooting.
Yeah.
On the
half court.
half court.
Half court shots.
You know what I
yeah.
mean? And like
Oh,
really
yeah.
have everybody thinking they can shoot the 3-pointer.
Every time
Like,
MJ goes in the
every-
backyard, first shot,
he wanna
I'm not
shoot.
lying, is a half court shot.
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
like, where's the mic and drill? Make a layup
Start
first.
and work your way back.
Yeah.
Steph is so prolific with it that he's changed the game to the point where on a fast break, dudes no longer lay it up. They stop at the 3-point line and shoot it.
Yeah, that's
Or they'll kick it out.
That's
for sure.
analytics, but the analytics tell you to do that because obviously that could pay off dividends. It's like going for two, going
Analytics
for
only
one.
changed because of Steph. Because before him, they never did that.
Well, there was no analytics.
Wait,
before
first of
him
all,
as
that's
well.
a lie. You just
So-
lied on TV. The analytics didn't change because of Steph. Steph took advantage of the analytics that were always present. They just didn't do the analysis.
Steph did
Analytics
it-
always
Steph did it
told you
because
not-
he was good. Analytics was being made over here, and they have evolved into one.
Because
over the
analytics
years.
always said that the closer to the basket is the better shot.
You-
The high percentage shot.
Yeah, you get higher percentage, but you don't get the aggregate points. So if you make 33s, right, that's 90 points. But that means you got to make 45 twos. Now think about it. It's a higher percentage.
But it's a
Yeah,
lot easier to
thank
make
you.
those
Did you-
twos than it is to make
It
that
depends
three.
Did you
That's
hear
where
what
the
he just
analytics.
said?
Did you hear what he said? Say
Yeah.
it.
It's 50% more shots.
Yeah. So it's weird. Like we going in the classroom, but this is why them nerds be winning because they be like, "Oh, you're gonna shoot the higher percentage." Well, we're gonna just shoot this one lower percentage, half as many times as you, if we make them and still beat you. How many times you seen a team lose because they went for two and
They shoulda went for one. Yeah.
Should have went for one.
The
and
Lions,
flip-flop.
Detroit Lions, both
So
of them.
what do you? I think Terry doesn't agree with us. Terry is looking disgusted
The
back
former high flyer who has many bodies.
there. Used to dunk on him.
Oh, I'm a 7-foot high jumper, so everybody got
Oh,
dunked.
okay.
Oh,
Respect.
everybody-
Hey, respect.
Standing there.
So the dunk is always going to be the most exciting shot in the game. Like there's so many more dunk highlights throughout the history of the game. Even in this year, John Morant dunking on Wemby.
But how that dunking on though is different.
Well, that's the part of that's.
Talking about dunking, not
If he's just talking about a dunk,
Oh, you
it's
just
not
talking about?
exciting.
I mean, what's the better shot? I mean, what's the more the smarter shot?
which is more exciting.
Well, a dunk is exciting. I'd rather
Well,
see
it depends on who's
like,
dunking.
what makes a three-pointer exciting is when you shake somebody's ankles, break their ankles down, and shoot in their face. That's the exciting part.
Right, so you're saying an open three is not exciting neither.
Yeah,
You have to
it's-
do all this and
yeah.
fade away to make three to make it exciting.
Exactly. That's not exciting.
LeBron on the fast break dunking the ball. What's more exciting, him doing that or Steph pulling up at half court?
Steph
Pulling up at half court is more exciting.
But look, that conversation. If Michael Jordan's dunking, who are you taking? It's
I'm
the
still
Michael-
taking Steph.
No, you're not.
The
Vince
half
Carter.
court shot
Or
off
Vince
an
Carter.
open dunk.
The way Jordan would dunk and how dramatic it look, you're gonna take that type of dunk. LeBron's 6'8", he's not a dunker, so it's different, right? Now, if you're taking somebody who you love to watch dunk, that's something totally
Vince
different.
Carter.
I'm gonna tell you
Vince
why,
Carter,
I
yeah.
think that has changed also because now every one of these guys can do those dunks. They all super
Nobody
athletes.
looked like Michael Duncan. I don't care
I'm
who
not.
it
I'm
is.
talking about now. I'm saying
Nobody
now.
now can make a dunk.
All right, now
like
you
Michael
now
Jordan.
you showing your age. Now
Not-
these
not
guys
one.
is doing everything that he was doing
Every
and
free
more.
throw dunk he did, they did.
They doing
better.
it during
But
the
they don't-
game.
no,
Yeah.
They don't fly in the
Yes, they
air
do.
like
Guys is
Michael
jumping from
does.
the Zion.
In high school,
Zion
too.
just jumped from
No, no,
almost the
no,
free
no,
throw
no.
line during
They
the game.
can
the
jump
other day.
higher. and they can jump further, it doesn't look like that.
says
Just
that
like,
is
hold on, just
graceful.
like we're saying with Steph Curry. There's a bunch of dudes in the NBA that can shoot it from 40 feet. It doesn't look
I said
the
half court.
same. It just
You got a point there. It doesn't look the same.
Ken Griffey's
How-
swing does not look like any other
There's
swing
more
ever
guys in
in
the
sports.
NBA that can dunk like that than guys that can shoot like that.
Did you just hear my whole argument? You still stuck back on that?
No, because it's the same topic.
No, it's
'Cause
not
the same topic.
But are you understanding what I'm saying? Right? Again, Ken Griffey swinging the bat just looked different. It just did. I don't know why, but it just
did look
different.
different,
And
but
Steph is the same way.
There's still more people doing.
I
Everybody
know
can dunk
that's
now.
not the complaint, though. That's not
But that's the
argument.
topic.
No,
We're saying what's more exciting, a dunk or a 3-point shot.
But you're not explaining why.
I just explained to you.
But
I
that's-
said it
that's-
3 times. Every athlete now can do these same dunks. They
But
all
is it-
doing it.
but what
There's
I'm
less
saying
guys
is-
that can do what people like Steph are doing.
Now I'll say
There's
this.
not-
There's a
though.
handful of. There's 5 guys.
Have
in
you
the
ever
league
been to an
that can
NBA
shoot
hold
from
on,
half
hold on.
court?
Have you-
There's 100 guys in the NBA that can do every windmill you can think of.
Have you ever been to an NBA practice?
No. Skip
I'm
over what
asking
I
the
just said,
question.
though. But let that marinate for a
I'm
second.
marinated,
If 100 guys
I
can
ate
do
it,
something,
I spit it
and
out.
5 guys can do it, then what?
So listen, have you ever been to an NBA practice?
Yeah.
Every one of these players, besides maybe the center who's 7 foot, can step back to 45 feet and make these shots all day.
But not during the game.
So
You can do a lot in practice.
Are you listening?
There's a difference
Are
between
you
what you
listening?
do in practice.
3, cap.
If you haven't, they all make these shots.
But not during the
They
game.
all can shoot. No, they can't shoot
There's
like
a lot
Steph
of players
Curry
that do
is
stuff
what
in
I'm
practice
saying.
that don't do it in the game.
Because why? Because they don't do it in the game. Because that's not
No,
their
'cause
role.
what you do in practice is what it's supposed to translate to the game. Everybody can't do it. That's why Steph is Steph.
I think what's
that's what
interesting.
I'm saying.
Tell me if this helps your argument, because I love when you don't like the word disagree, but y'all just had a disagreement, okay? And this is beautiful. Back in the era when Jordan did it, there was a fascination that came because we didn't see anybody else doing it. Now his point is like
Everybody does it.
everybody doing it, so it's not as fascinating. You're not gonna let me finish.
Yes.
But then
Because it's not a true statement, because Julius
is a true
Irvin was
statement.
before that.
Yeah.
And so
But
there
that's
were
not what he
dunkers
said.
But I'm not-
before that.
but that's not what he
rarity.
said.
There was a rarity that was here. And then there's Steph shooting. There was a rarity that's here. But then you start to contrast it based on surrounding peers. Who else could do it? There were fewer then than there are now. Right? True?
Yes, true.
So then you get into style because
Yes.
you're like, everybody could do it now. Who's doing it fresher?
Yes.
Right? And then that's Vince Carter's era, right? And then you get with Steph, he's doing it, but who could do it fresher? And Steph, the difference between him and Jordan is there ain't nobody coming after Steph that's doing it fresher. Like even Dame Lillard,
thinking about it.
Dame
He's
Dollar,
the closest to him.
He's the closest, and
And it's
that
not
ain't
Steph.
It ain't Steph. So I'm with him on this.
Okay, but
one,
it's not a disagreement. So first, I'm giving you facts. That's all I'm doing.
you're not giving
There
us facts.
will
You're giving
be-
opinions.
There will be
A lot of them.
Have
somebody
you been to a
else.
practice?
There will be somebody else after Steph Curry.
Yeah, but that's the evolution, though.
Yeah.
When we're
So
talking
you
about
living
right
off of
now.
what ifs again. Well, I'm talking about right now in the present
now.
time.
I'm so smart.
We talking
Hey,
about right
I
now.
forgot
I bet you can't spell it. I bet you can't spell it. You poked the bear. You made Hartson take his game up a notch. You poked the bear a little bit.
Give me that.
You
Give me
poked
that.
the bear a little
Yeah,
bit.
yeah.
You know what it is? That's like
should've
having a
went to
good teacher
Columbia.
in school being like, you know, Mr. Wiley, you can do much better than that.
much-
I
Yeah.
expect
You're
so
so
much.
much smarter
I don't want to
than
be
that.
disappointed.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what
Hey,
you
hey,
did.
I'm like LeBron and you Luca.
You teach him how to win.
You stepping up your
Teach him
game.
how
You're
to
right.
win.
I was a star in my own right. So yeah, there you go.
He was over there just sitting like this. He's like, man, I don't want to talk about this. He didn't say one thing on JuJu. He like, I hate y'all. I ain't talking about
Nah, I
this
was letting
shit.
y'all cook. I ain't want to step on nobody's toes.
All right, so in this conversation, which is funny, I love Steph. And Steph has done something. He has mesmerized a generation. And just like Jordan has, because look, there's literally five pair of Jordan sneakers in here right now, so I respect that. But what Steph Curry's done, I don't even want to anticipate who's going to do it better. Like, I love it when you did it and nobody else can do it, right? So hopefully that takes this generation for them.
Also, Marcellus, Steph Curry was underrated. And he was like, he was the ultimate underdog. He's a baby-faced dude who everybody's.
He ain't the underdog. His dad played in the NBA for
Hello.
a long
Yeah, but he had one.
like,
shooter,
like,
too.
like was a shooter. He
Yeah,
grew
but
up,
he had
he
Michael
up a
Jordan
silver
got cut as a
spooner going to
sophomore.
practice. That's not an underdog.
The media
well-
is a motherfucker.
Well,
They got
know.
to look at that Steph like, oh, how'd you get here?
Well, wait a minute.
With them bad ankles.
He had one D1 scholarship.
True
offer.
statement.
Davidson.
That's a true
Yeah.
statement.
So that's an
wasn't
underdog.
He was skinny.
I know a whole lot of kids who have
That's
are
a late bloomer.
it's still an underdog.
Yeah, I
it's
give
still
you
an
that
underdog.
subcategory of
And he
underdog.
did a Larry Bird. He carried a team of people you can't even name to the Elite Eight or whatever it was in the NCAAs.
statement.
He's a
remember
baby
that.
face assassin. My ex-wife loves Steph Curry because he looks like a little baby. You know what I mean? My
Still
daughters
hold on to
love
her,
him because he's
She the ex-wife.
Some way, somehow, you can bring your ex-wife up into this conversation.
She's loving Steph a little
well,
too
no,
much.
I'm saying there's a lot.
I certainly hope
There's a
Steve,
lot-
I certainly hope he ain't Steve Smith.
There's a lot to there's a lot to
Steph
the
is a little
aura.
too cute.
Well, you know, there's a lot to it. There's a lot to the aura.
Did she go to All Stars? That's all I need to know.
Hey,
Does she have a
call her
jersey?
and ask her.
Does she have a jersey?
Call her and ask her.
I hope,
man away jersey.
I hope Steph ain't Steve Smith senior.
Oh yeah. In your phone, 3. The number 3 is the number 3 in your phone anywhere. If so, oh, shit.
My name is not Tony. Did Tony ever hit you? Did he ever hit you back?
Nah, Tony ain't hit me yet.
Oh, Tony.
He know. Don't call me Tony. I ain't got nothing for you. I'm trying to keep this perfect record I got over here.
But I'm saying there was more to Steph. You know, Steph had the look. He had the story. He had the look. He had all of that behind him. In addition to
Who likes
his
Steph more
skill.
look? Like you and your wife? You keep
It's a family affair.
I feel secure too.
yeah,
Hey,
I mean,
Jason
wait,
Tatum, one of the best looking dudes
What are
ever.
you talking about?
Hey, if I'm in the club and Jason Tatum walk in, I'm out. Like I just know ain't no wins in there. Like I get whatever he don't like. Right? He that good looking. His Boris Kojo.
Right. Oh yeah,
If you
Boris.
don't know your competition, you either
gotta know your
lying or
role.
you're dumb. Like
Right.
You got to know your role.
Or you're not even their competition.
Thank you.
Right.
Oh man,
Boris. Oh yeah, you just
Wait
walk-
till we have our club psychology conversation.
You just have
we
a-
gonna have some.
You just have to find a
Show by
corner.
itself.
Dog, club psychology was the best shit ever. All right, we got to go to this club. Let's talk about the NFL club right now. Everybody's trying to get into it, the combine. You just came back from the combine, so I'm going to start with you, Bucky. The reaction to the combine, the importance of the combine. Just educate the masses about the combine experience.
Well, the different levels to the combine. First, the combine is the biggest job interview that these prospects will have. But the most important part of the combine are the medical evaluations and the interviews. The on-field stuff matters, but it only matters to a point. But it's really about having the doctors figure out injuries, prognoses, all those things. And then it comes down to the 15-minute interviews that you have with the kids, because this is the only time that you get to sit with them face-to-face, really before starting to make multi-million-dollar decisions on whether they can be nice fits within your franchise.
It's tough. I mean, I went to combine. Yes? Yes?
No, I did not go to the
Okay,
combine.
yes. Did you go, Bucky, as a
Y'all went.
prospect?
Yeah, y'all went.
Okay. Dog, nerve-wracking, one, because, I mean, you're trying to control your emotions. You know it's the biggest job interview. You're like, damn, I played 4 years of football, and these fools going to break it down in 3 days?
And
Like,
it's different because back then in our day, like all the TV coverage has made it where guys know what they're stepping into. For us, it was like walking into Never Neverland because you didn't know. I'm going in and I got a ticket. I'm going here, but that's all I know. And you get out there and you're doing all kinds of drills and all that other stuff. But it's a different nerve-wracking experience.
I had a blessed experience because I went to the first combine camp. It was Mike Boyle, if those who don't know him.
old.
Yeah, I'm old. Like, dog, he trained Mike Mamula. And I think they still talk about Mike Mamula's.
Oh, yeah, he blew up the combine. Yeah.
He destroyed the combine by a guy who was a strength and conditioning coach, Mike Boyle, who learned all of the drills and said how to best enhance your results. Manipulated them.
Yeah.
So he teaching us how to do it. First, you got to get your body right and all that. We ate 6 weeks in Boston. We couldn't have a snack. Everything was regimented. I was so lean and cut and ready for the combine, but there were some cheats. It was like, how many steps are you running in your 40? Well, how are you doing your reach before your vertical jump, right?
those guys.
He knew every rig before they knew the test, so everybody destroyed it. Me, Darren Sharper, I know. Amy Sharper, I know, Flag, guys, James Ferrier, we all went tops. But the combine now, it's more of a show. It's more
a
of
TV show.
It's more of I don't need to act in your TV show more
It's a
than it
TV
was
show.
back then.
For sure.
Like combine experience, where are you coming from? In terms of importance, and yeah, I know you didn't do it.
I had it was my combine experience was a little bit more life changing because I didn't go. Because I remember the organization was in Tulsa, Oklahoma, right? Langston's in Oklahoma, and I remember I would send a letter like early in my senior year. I didn't get no feedback, right? Whatever, and then I would call up there like after my senior year, like I didn't get my letter yet.
Were you reluctant to go through that, or was you like, I'm all in, this is my only shot, or were you kind of like pride in a way a little bit?
Life or death? No
Okay.
pride. When you're trying to do it to survive, you're like there's no pride, right? So I was calling up there. I probably made about 20 to 25 calls, so they kind of knew my name, my voice and my name. And I just remember the lady saying, well, if you haven't got your invitation by now, you ain't getting one, you know? And I was like, after that, like that kind of was another chip on my shoulder to go show out for my pro days. I had like 17 different, we didn't have a pro day.
So the regional combines and all
no,
that?
No, they came to the school, but I didn't have a pro day, right? Small schools, they say, I'm going to Oklahoma State on Tuesday, we'll get you on Wednesday, right? I'm going to be in OU on Thursday, we'll come to Langston on Friday. So that's kind of how I got my my look, if you will, from like.
All you had to do was say, yes, Randy.
I was before Randy, remember?
You were, huh?
Yeah.
What year you go, 97?
Yeah, your draft class. Our draft class.
You didn't get drafted though, did you?
Yeah, I did. See? I know, but I'm flexing back though. I'm flexing back. See?
He didn't go to Columbia.
You know, I wasn't. I wasn't.
All right, when you gonna pick up on this?
I didn't have the silver spoon thing going on.
Hold on.
But
What pick did you go?
52.
I went.
Oh, sorry.
I went.
52.
I went higher than everybody.
Did you? What
That's a
pick?
flex. Another flex. That's a
48.
Jesus. North Carolina's finest. Oh, let's talk through. And you didn't. Oh, you went to the combine.
I didn't know. I'd like. Oh, I
I
didn't
used to
know.
bust his head.
Oh, I just.
Bucky got that money.
No. Okay.
What year?
94. Marshall Falk, AG.
Name somebody got picked before you that you're better than, and name someone picked after you that's better than you.
Okay, so who? All the wide receivers. It was Charles Johnson.
Damn, all of them?
It was Johnny Morton. It was
you
Derek
get
Alexander, Thomas Lewis. I say Thomas Lewis's name would probably be the one.
Yeah,
He went
yeah.
first round to the Giants.
Oh,
Wait, which one is he?
Better than you, or you
Are you better than
He
him?
better than him. You don't know who he is.
I was better.
Yeah, he ain't got that.
No, I'm saying that's who you're saying. You
Yeah, I was
okay?
better than him. But then there was like
When you don't know the name, he better than him. If you knew the name.
Deuce, no, but like it's funny because the combine is weird, right? So now,
Wait. This is the second half
second
of
part
that,
to that
of that
question.
question.
Who better
Yeah,
than
who?
you?
Yeah. See,
I mean,
He ain't go to Columbia.
everybody. Pipe down. Pipe
Carolina's
down.
close.
Pipe
Carolina's
down.
academic.
Top five public institution.
Carolina's the highest
Pipe
academic.
down.
Anybody could get it here.
Pipe
Did you
down.
hear him? Top 5 public institution.
Pipe
Carolina's
down.
high academic. Right?
Yeah,
But everybody, all them dudes there. I played
Yeah.
DB. I went from wide out to DB, so I couldn't have been good. So I had.
All right, what you got, big dog? Let's hear
Man,
it.
my combine experience was totally different. I tore my MCL in the Hula Bowl All-Star game. So I went to the combine hurt, and it really affected why I didn't get drafted. Because when I went to the combine, I was on those lists. They had the top 15 lists. Tackles, I'm on the latter part, 14, 15, but my name was on there. Yeah. And going to the combine hurt with my knee, all I could do was bench press. I did a couple of meetings.
How much you bench?
I did 22. And then 25 on my pro day.
You hurt your leg or you hurt your shoulder?
Legs. My legs was my strong point.
Hold on, wait a minute.
Yeah. I definitely wasn't upper body strength until I got
28 at the combine, 35 at the pro day.
So just for comparison.
I did 24 though.
What?
I did 35.
I did 22 out at the combine. I did 25.
Hold on, wait.
Yep, but I promise you I would have ran through that little guy and ran through that big guy. I would have ran through that little guy and ran through that big guy.
Yeah, I promise you, unless you have some food.
My upper body didn't get stronger until I got to the league.
because
Though my
the running back,
my legs were real strong.
Yeah, Donovan Edwards just did 23, the running back for Michigan.
Yeah. But I'm being honest, I don't care. Shit, I played 14 years. I lock motherfuckers down.
That's a flex.
But that's one thing in this show. We want y'all to care.
But nah.
I care about going to Columbia. You better care about the shit you
Nah,
care
I mean,
about. I got a lot of you.
I don't care because of what I was able to do
stand
without
on it.
that.
Stand
Without
on
that
it. You
shit,
ain't
you know what I'm
gotta back down.
saying?
Stand on
Because
it.
of what I was able to do after
Say
that.
I did it, but I was weak when I got into it. Like,
Yeah,
you
bang.
ain't had upper body
I
strength.
bang, put it like that. I bang.
Yeah,
I might throw a
You
25.
you had a hole.
I bang. But one of the things that hurt me at the combine was I was a very athletic because of my basketball background, and I would have done great in those drills. Like I was running, I was running under fives in my 40. When I ended up jumping a 35 vert, you know. So I would have performed well, and that hurt me.
That was at your pro day 35?
Yeah, my pro day.
That's a lot.
And I
39 and a half. Excuse me.
I would have. Yeah, but I would have performed and probably raised my stock at the combine. And that's one thing I was mad because I was very athletic. I would have killed those drills. And leading up to that, before I got hurt, I was doing very well. And then after that, when those lists, you know, the new lists come out after the combine.
Whatever, you up?
I wasn't nowhere on it.
No. He
Oh,
hurt.
because
I was hurt.
He's hurt.
Was on the list at all.
But
He's hurt.
you said you did.
I just did the bench. I ain't do no drill, nothing.
Yeah.
They came out with the new list. They came out with the new list. I wasn't even on none of the lists. You know how crushing that was. But like I said, I used that as motivation.
What year was this?
This was 06.
Oh, I'm still scouting.
06? Wow, yo, 06? That's the
Alpha.
Oh, yeah.
I ain't go to that school. Okay, all right. So
wait a minute. Can I say something?
Oh, you-
I was
oh,
with
wait.
some Raiders fans yesterday, some of my boys, and the reverence they have for this brother,
everybody love DPG.
It almost made me cry. I was like, I know that brother. I was like, that's my podcast
your
mate.
boy, yeah.
Nah,
They
Raiders, that's love.
revere you, bro.
Nah,
He know it.
Nah, it's love with the Raiders though. I helped go. I went there when nobody wanted to go there, and we turned that thing around. So it was much love, and it's more important to me because I grew up a Raider fan too.
Yeah. No, for real. Like we talked about it last episode. And I'm glad you ran into some people. Dog, he get more love with the Raiders than I get with any team I play for. And you agree?
Vikings is not like
Yeah, this dude different. Like he royalty, man. It's crazy because he had a spirit. He had a personality on top of his game.
Yeah.
And I've been able to have that whole like that dude wild style kind of stuff work, but it ain't even this. And I think part of it is not only how great he was in the 3 Pro Bowls, but more than that, Raider Nation is real.
It's real.
Like
They do come out. They come out.
They different. It's a nation of Raider fans.
And when you have a
like places like Panama, Colombia, and London,
Y'all got them in
come up to
Colombia?
them. Yeah, I was at.
We gotta go down there.
on the boat.
Send out some autographs.
There's something in Colombia.
Not like my 8 years playing in
Sign some auto
Tampa.
asses.
My 8 years playing in Tampa, like coming out here and coming home would always be fine. But when I got with the Raiders,
it was different.
it just got crazy.
Different.
It got crazy with Raider Nation.
All right, what are y'all like? Y'all thoughts on the combine? I mean, obviously, I know none of y'all sorry asses ever. Like, let me stop. No, but like combine from your perspective, is it ever like I wonder this, or is it just if the guy does well at the combine, y'all like go get him? Like, how do you guys even view this whole pageantry and experience?
I mean, for what I see is like the top players, especially the quarterbacks, they haven't done the combine right for the last couple years, 5-6 years, I think it was. So
Fine
it's like,
girls ain't never paid for a meal, huh?
Yeah, it's like
they ain't doing shit.
So it's almost one of those things as like who has to do it and how important is it and like does it change the draft stock at all? That'd be questions I'll ask you guys. Like
Bucky, does it change the draft stock?
So 2 things. So we're in the middle of a movement where players are realizing that I don't have to do any of this.
Right.
If I have a level of cash,
leverage.
Marvin Harrison Jr., son of Marvin Harrison Sr., who's in the Hall of Fame, did none of it.
The best shooter.
Yeah, he didn't do anything. He didn't measure. He didn't run a 40. He didn't work out. He said, "I don't care."
Interview?
Like he interviewed, but he was like, "Yeah, I'm not doing any of this."
He took forever to sign the
and he
PA.
said, "I'll see you in training camp," and that's what he did.
Was he picked 3?
3 to the
Four.
Cardinals?
Four, I think maybe.
That worked.
He knew he was gonna get picked
He
up.
did, and so there.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, he did that, but there are levels to it. So Cam wore Shadur Sanders. they're regarded as the 2 top quarterbacks in the class. Like, honestly, for them and for the running back from Boise State, Ashton Genty, there's nothing positive that could come out of those events.
Ooh,
like, there's nothing. The only thing that can happen to those guys is they get hurt, and then they miss out on the bag. And so at some point, you're having guys make calculated decisions like, yeah, we good. If you can't figure out what I am as a player off the tape,
Wow.
Yeah, I'm going, you know, this is why I love us to just be honest. So we can level this world sensibilities. I swear the power of this show, because I know all of you guys individually. I know how you guys are courageous, and I know your stories to a degree. So it's like this world be BSing, right? So I go to Columbia, and it's like, oh my God, how smart are you? And, you know, it's the racial element. I'm from Compton. I grew up on food stamps and shit. And they're like, damn, yo ass go to – that's why I always lean into Compton to Columbia, because it's like, yeah, and I'm not special. There's other kids from there or other situations that can make it. So, but then you get to the NFL or combine and college football, I'm not high on the totem pole. I'm the lowest. Columbia was the worst football program in the country in terms of losing streak forever. And so I went to the worst, not one of, the worst football school. And then I'm in the combines. And to Bucky's point, I could do nothing but increase my draft stock. I could do nothing but help myself. I can't hurt myself at all. So I went in there. I mean, I'm in there like, yo, I do whatever it takes, you know. Man, I suck, yo. You know, like,
God damn, like that's where we at today.
He been on lately.
What happened over the weekend?
He has been on lately.
Like what did I miss? Like what happened over the weekend?
anybody want a cheeseburger? Anybody want a cheeseburger?
Oh
Man, you been on, man.
oh my God.
He said the enthusiasm.
Hey, no, but
Where?
I don't even want to come back at that. But to his point, that's why I wanted to. I was so down on myself not being able to perform at the combine, because I knew if I would have went and I would have performed with the way I was testing, like going up before I went to Hula Bowl, I know I would have just elevated mine. And I know that's probably why you were so hurt too, because they didn't get a chance to see you, and you probably would have went out there, done the drills, and elevated. Because I'm a gamer, I'm gonna show up. And I would have showed up and showed out.
Quick question for you on that. If you knew you was injured, no thought was like, hey, let me not go because I could drop my stock by doing this?
Well, coming from Utah State, I need to go. I need to go so I could. That's my first time being in the room with those guys.
Gotcha.
Meeting them seeing my face, and I had to get examined by doctors. My knee swelled up. I had to ice my knee that night because it got yanked on by so many
that's
different
the only
doctors.
time. So like everyone comes from different schools. There's no central database for like medical information. Right. So what they do is they come in. Everyone gets a full physical, and then if you had any injuries, they may do a recheck to check on like your knee, your ankle, or whatever.
I had to go get
and
an MRI.
then those doctors will then hand out the information to the teams and say like, okay, look, there's a high probability that he could have a career that's short due to degenerative knee, this and that, or whatever. So some of the decisions that are made on draft day is because they're saying, look, we draft him, but we have no expectation that he'll ever get to a second contract based on his diagnosis. So that's why it's important to go for the medical, but then also like
Interviews.
The interview part,
yep.
like if there's something in your background, like if I had a DUI, if I had a fight or anything, is your opportunity to explain. And they already know. They already know, but they're trying to figure out like, hey, what are the circumstances behind
If you're gonna be real
this,
with
this, and that, or whatever. And then they go on. And then if it's not that, then it's just about ball. Like, let's look at the tape. Let's spend 15 minutes looking at the tape. Explain to me this so I know exactly what I'm getting. And then it sets the table for you to come in for a visit and all those things.
And it was good. It was good. Wait, real fast. It was good that they did the MRI, because when I took it back to my doctor at school, I was ahead of healing. And we wouldn't have known that if I ain't go to them and had them, because they gave me my copy. And that was a little bit after I was still in my recovery process. I'm a healing above schedule, you know, and that looked good to the teams. But my doctor was able to see that, and we were able to start, because it's MCL, we were able to start a little bit rehab a little bit faster than I wanted to.
Times are different now. You know, they televised the combines. When you guys were coming up, going into your pro days,
Secret.
It was a secret. We didn't know the players, how they exercise or move before.
Bring that mic up, Trip.
Before they get drafted. But I think it's a lot easier now because we get to know the players, the position they play, where they're going to go play, and I don't know. I think it's a lot better for the players now.
Yeah, it's better for us. Intramural.
That's another thing for ESPN to talk about, basically.
Yeah.
Or the NFL Network, should I say.
It would seem to me that the interviews are, for most kids, are the least important.
It's the most
important.
Because a lot
Ball
of these
is ball.
teams don't take them seriously.
What, the interviews?
Or they're asking inappropriate questions.
No, they can't do it anymore. So like,
well, that's what they said, and then they asked
can't.
Lamar about his mama being a prostitute or some shit
was
like
Lamar.
that.
That was Des Bryant.
Or
And
and
Whoever
the
it was, mama his agent.
Either way,
She ain't no
it was
prostitute.
still bad.
So it's funny you brought up the Des Bryant thing. The reason that came up is because they asked Des Bryant about his dad and his dad's occupation. Oh, my dad is a pimp. What does your mom do? She works for my dad. So the question came out of that. It wasn't like Jeff Ireland just asked, like,
Is your
hey,
mama
man,
a
your
hoe?
mama a hoe? No, he didn't ask that. He asked because my man
Did
said,
she go to All Stars?
Did she have a Steph Curry jersey?
She likes Steph Curry. Is her nickname John Bone?
So that's why. But then,
so that's new information.
no, but
that's
now,
new information for me.
But also,
Oh, shit.
the league has changed. All right, so the league has become more corporate as it became more diverse, and as you have like more, like look, you have women in prominent positions and everything. It became more like a corporate interview. So there are questions that I can't ask you that I used to could ask you before. I could ask you in an interview, how many kids you have, this and that. Like I could
So
lean
it's a
into
hard HR question.
Yeah, I could lean
it's
into
a hard HR thing now. Huh?
for sure. I could lean into things like if I had heard that maybe your sexual orientation was more homosexual, like we would kind of lean into that just to get an idea. But like you can't do those things. All those things are inappropriate now. So now it literally is about ball.
Okay.
That's it. Like so there's none of the other stuff and that was hard coming from like the old boys club.
Yeah,
That's been a hard transition where the league had to make it very sterile when it came to. I mean, it's literally just like any other interview where
Now
the
they sound
biggest-
like, you ever seen the Men of Society? Now they all sound like the granddaddy talking to Kang tomorrow. Do you care if you live?
You die? Yeah.
Like, you know what you want to ask.
Because
Like,
the
ask
biggest
real
thing
questions.
about it is they're trying to find out the kid's character, right? So again, like Bucky said, they know every single answer to the question they're asking. Let's give you an example. The guy who had all the sacks this year at South Carolina, the freshman All-American at South Carolina, right? Had like 9 sacks, whatever. I guarantee for the next 2 years, they're following him around.
oh, we don't know.
You see what I'm saying? So when he comes in 2 years to the combine, hey, do you do this? Do you move like this? All those, they already know the answer
Can I
to
give
all
you
that
my
stuff.
real life experience? So it's not even a guy out there. It's me. It happened to me. Dog, they have the FBI telling you and all
Yes.
that stuff. So I got tailed. I didn't know it, right? So off. When I say FBI, I mean like off-duty cops. Like
There's
they
security.
hire it security, right?
NFL
So-
has one of the biggest security apparatuses
Yeah.
anywhere.
Yeah. So this is what happened. I get in the combine. I went to the combine when you walked across the stage and you can wear whatever you want. But I knew what I looked like. Like I told you, I went 6 weeks in Boston and went straight there. And I did my favorite snack, Hawaiian Punch and Cheetos. Didn't have it for 6 weeks. Oh, I ripped up. I was yoked the fuck up. And so I get to the combines and everybody like, you went to Columbia? And they're like, damn, I'm 6'4" and a quarter, 272.
And ripped at 272?
Ripped. I mean, I was shredded. I knew it. And so I walk in the room and I wear Speedos because one, you know how secure I am in my masculinity. And two,
you in your drawers.
yeah. Did anybody do that in your?
No, you walk into the auditorium with
Yeah.
everybody, all the coaches in here.
It's five-
Like
you
a,
got
slave, it's like a
Tyson.
slave trade.
And
It's
I
like
got a little
slave trade.
bird chest, so when I walked
Yeah,
in
it's
there,
500
I'm over
people
there
in
trying to
there,
stick
and
my
you're-
chest out. Hey, so like I'm
you're
a
in
little
your
swollen than I am. I ain't gonna lie, I definitely did.
So-
And my trainer told me that too. He said when you walk in there, because they knew I got a little bird chest. That's why my bitch was
22
so low.
reps.
That's why my bitch was so low. I was trying to get ahead of him and
Never
say
get
it.
his nipples
Hey,
licked.
look, hey, I was trying to get ahead of you and say it before you said it, because I knew it was coming.
The girls were like,
I knew it was coming.
where you at?
But no, it was serious though. When I walked in that room though, I had my tights on. I walked out with my chest sticking out to try and make it look like
Nah, so one of the things that used to happen before you cut you off is we're looking at body types. Because so
That's what I'm
Marcellus-
gonna finish after this. I'm gonna tell
Marcellus
you.
would come across the stage. He would stand facing us. Then he would stand to the side. Then he would turn around. And as a scout, like you're talking about a slate trick, but like you're making notes on like anything. He's knock-kneed. He has coat hanger shoulders. He has this like
Calves.
one arm is longer than the other or whatever. The other thing, like now, so like tattoos. But they'll look at yeah.
We lost DP
drunk.
Ladies and gentlemen, we lost
I'm
James.
being serious. I did walk out.
But
Just
Bucky,
sticking out, so I'm being honest.
that was one of the big criticisms. Of
Oh yeah, it felt a little slavish.
yeah.
But can I finish? Let me. All right. So Bucky's
Go ahead,
right.
go ahead.
So I did it. So when I walked in, and so I'm with Orlando Pace was our number 1 pick. So I'm in that draft.
Monster.
Yeah, beast. He didn't do shit, and he didn't have to. So I'm like walking, and they're like, "Damn, dog, how you go to Columbia? Like, look at you." He said, "They gonna trip when you walk in this motherfucking room."
Body beautiful.
And I walked in the room, and I'm not lying. When I walked in, they said,
Damn.
"Damn." And so
They were like,
I got on
They're like,
speedos.
let me talk to you, shorty. Come here, shorty.
Dog, no. I had on literally a black and blue pair of like
So you
European
you only had those
Speedos.
tights. Oh, you had the European
I mean,
ones.
I had the thong up the ass. It was
No,
like for real.
Sell,
I was like,
no.
I'm gonna get drafted.
Sell.
Oh, yeah.
You weren't clapping cheeks.
Yeah.
You weren't twerking.
Anything for a signing
Sell
bonus.
was in there.
Marcellus was like,
Marcellus in there twerking. Hey, turn around.
Marcellus was like, I'm gonna get
Twerk that
drafted
thing.
or
Hey,
I'm
you
gonna
wanna
be
see
a
these
cap
muscles?
man.
Yeah.
You
Or
wanna
I'm
see
gonna be
these
a
muscles?
cap man.
Either I'm
Mercy,
gonna
where
get
you at?
drafted, or I'm gonna be dating a scout. Like that's the shit. I'm making it to the league.
I'm winning. That's right.
I'm leaving here with something.
I ain't telling this story.
I will be driving European.
I'm
by
leaving here
next
with
week.
something.
All right, so I'm not telling the story to brag. Y'all know me, I never do that. I'm telling the story because it came back to haunt me. So if y'all don't know this, if y'all don't judge little kids when they're playing sports, you're doing yourself a disservice. So I coach football, I've coached basketball, track. I look at kids' ankles straight up. I look at kids' ankles first, calves second, then I look at the three angles of bend.
Same thing with chicks, don't you look at the chicks?
Yeah, you gotta look at if them calves are high, we got a shot. If they low, we ain't got nothing to do with it. If them ankles are big, move away.
over.
Right.
It's over.
And I do it with kids. I'm like, oh man, I got that one. Okay, so they see me and they literally come back. I got pros and cons. Pros, he's built like that's a frame.
Body beautiful.
We could do this. The con was he got a high booty and a weird arch in his back.
Yep.
And they wrote that, and I heard that.
Yeah.
And so, what is the first surgery I have in the NFL? Back surgery. They predicted it. Some people said they dropped me in the draft because they're like, you too high booty. You're going to be doing wiggling too much.
all that.
Back. So, here's the other thing they told me. They said, we also knew you like to live, bruh. And I said, what do you mean? It's like, oh, you get out. They say, we know you ball. We know you put in extra work, and we know all your extra time is living that life. And I said, what? I said, how you know? And they said, you ever been here? You ever been there? I said, no, I'm always there.
So one of the things that I would do as a scout, like if I was going to Columbia and I knew he was the target, I'm gonna spend a couple days in that town. And I'm going to go to local spots around, and I'm gonna ask people, "Hey, Marcellus ever come through here?" And 100% of the time,
yes,
chicks will tell you everything you need to know about them. Oh, I seen he used to date my roommate, and And where else?
that part.
Where else does he go? And so there have been times where you go to the spot and see if you can see the guy fall up in there just to see
How he does it.
how he acts. So
How he
everything,
moved.
because it's a major investment, and you want to know exactly what you're dealing with, and so you want to know all their habits, you want to know their vices, you want to know all those things because it matters, particularly in some cities. So if I have a party, I can't bring him to Miami. I can't bring him down to Miami and put him down there because
He gonna follow. Come to Kansas City, Green Bay, something like that.
because we can control those environments. But in a major city, L.A., New York, this and that, no,
Ain't happening.
That happened to me too, though.
So they'll just eliminate you.
Pretty
It
much.
wa- it-
You'll drop
Somebody
on
else
their,
grab.
on
Yeah,
their
ours
draft
depends.
board. They'll drop. They're
Somebody
not
else deal with
eliminating
that.
It
you.
depends on how much.
They
but
might say you're more important for a 6th, 7th rounder, but we're not going to take you high because of this
It
risk.
impact. All of it.
point.
You
I
want
went
to know
through,
exactly what
I
you're
went through
doing.
that when I was going through my contract negotiations with Tampa.
What
They
were
told
they
my
saying?
agent. They told my agent that he be in the streets too much.
Yeah, you were
They-
too.
And I called and my agent called me and he said, they told me that they got somebody. I guess they got somebody hired. And they say they worried about how much you party. They say you be in the streets too much. And I asked my agent, how the fuck they know?
They thought your big ass.
You don't know that? Biggest man in the big ass.
How they know? How they know?
Biggest man in
Hey, 'cause I was in the
How they
streets.
see me?
You ain't.
Hey, 'cause I was in the
see me
streets
in
too.
Mons Venus.
Hey, I was
How
in
they
them
know I was in
streets.
Mons Venus?
I was in them
Your
streets
big
too.
ass coming through there.
Hey, I was in the streets too. Like, how they know?
Every Thursday through Friday.
How they know?
Hide behind it.
My agent gonna ask me how you got the nerve to ask me how they know.
Dog, your agent made easy money if he had to answer questions like that. He's like, motherfucker.
That nigga was like, I be in the streets with you.
got you right.
Hey, he was like, I be in the streets with you.
See me? They were like, was Donald Penn here? You mean bird chest? Like bird
I got a quick question for you. You
never
said
told
something
him
earlier.
that.
You can call this a NARP question because I'm sure there's people who want to know. So obviously, when you go to the combine, you're not in the NFL yet, but you're also pretty much out of college. You said something earlier like, "Hey, when we get this ticket, we gotta go." Who pays for you to get to the combine?
Oh, the league pays for
Oh,
all
league
that.
got that.
That's the lead.
Oh, there's no bigger bank account in the world.
No,
than
no,
that.
the
Hey,
league. The
Well,
league.
yeah, I know, but I was
The
just
league-
curious
If
because I don't.
Buck came in town,
Because
I would
you're
love
not
to
a
go to
pro
the
yet,
Buck.
so I didn't know
'Cause I know
if
who
they
paying
do it or.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If
No,
the
the-
NFL
so the
wants
league.
NFL got
Hey,
it.
if Buck
we
came in
got you.
town, please take me to dinner. 'Cause we going somewhere nice because I know who paying for that.
No, but the league. So the league pays
Company credit card.
for all of that stuff. So all those guys that come in, it's 330 that were invited that come through. So the league pays for all those guys to come through there. They give them gear. They put them in there. They're there for like 4 days to do all the stuff that they do, and that's part of it. And then years ago, and I would say this because people bash Roger Goodell, but one of the things that they wanted to do, one, they wanted to make the league year-round. So if you notice, every month there's an NFL event. So if you think about January the playoffs, February is the Super Bowl, March you start getting into the combine, April's the draft. They do mini camps in May. June is the only month that doesn't really have anything. July. So that's how they were able to dominate MLB and NBA because they stay year-round. The other part of it is they wanted to make the combine a TV show. And so basically what they've done, if you notice in the past when Marcellus and those guys went, it was in the morning. They would do all the workouts. Now it's prime time. They also changed the days. You notice that they put the quarterbacks on Saturday so everyone can see them. Before, the quarterbacks would be like at a different time or whatever. So they've changed it to make it like for TV. And so like the funny thing is you look at the ratings this weekend, the combine where you seeing guys running around in short, outrace all the NBA games. Everything is on TV because that's how fanatical football fans are about the game.
And it's crazy too because I was watching the other day and I feel bad for the announcers because they got to make up stuff. It feel like they're just dragging on, like they're just miserable, talking about these kids that they don't even know, trying to bring up what they do on their off time and everything. I
They
feel
don't know.
bad for
It's
that.
so
Yeah,
funny.
exactly.
I had to commentate. So you know you watch ESPN, you watch First Take. That used to be on ESPN2. That moves to ESPN1 and then all of a sudden becomes First Take. But when it was on ESPN2, that's when Fox made the move to go to Undisputed, and they were like, oh, we got to put this on ESPN1, big viewership to beat that. So that's how it goes. But they give you these workbooks. So if when you first start, you go to ESPN News. I don't even know if that's still around.
It's
but
still there.
Okay. So ESPN News is like, we're going to hide you around midnight, get your reps up, and let's go. And so you had to do the combine. And let's be real. Nobody know all these dudes. Nobody. But they give you a workbook, yay big. And they say, when they talking about this round or this guy or this school, go through it. And all you got to learn is how to DJ, when to play the song. So you're like, are they going to talk about Bucky Brooks? Okay, second round, Bucky Brooks, North Carolina, Bucky. And they got one
It's all done
paragraph,
for you.
Bush bomb back in the days. And
and then what you can do is you can give them a little word salad to get through that segment.
get
That
through
30
it.
that
I'm
30
talking
to
about Bucky
45.
Brooks like I seen every game, dog. And it's a paragraph I read. And that's how we
one-liners.
do it. It's wild like that.
It feels like the movie Best in Show.
That's a lot of it.
You ever see Best in Show?
A lot of it, and we'll talk about it.
It was
We'll
about
dance.
the dog show. The
I mean,
big dog
it is.
show.
It is.
And they just making shit up constantly.
I mean, it's a
Coming
pageant.
from some facts, but
Yeah.
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 All the other stuff is made up.
Oh, that's dope.
Is the combine necessary anymore, or because you have
Yes,
all
it's
the
necessary.
film?
Like me,
Hey, pretty girl,
Definitely.
do you need to go out?
for a guy like him.
No.
If you find enough, they gonna find you.
Right.
Can't even go to the grocery
It
store.
depends on-
But you can improve it though. That's what I'm saying. You can
Yeah.
improve
It
it.
Nah, you
depends
don't
on.
need
It depends
yeah.
on.
Yeah,
Depends
you
on
can
your
improve it. Like
station.
he says, for Shador and Cam, no, but somebody like me coming from Utah State, a small school, trying to work my way up and show,
Yeah,
like
Shiloh
it
didn't
was
get
important
invited.
for me. You know what I'm saying? Hatch coming from a black college,
needed it.
wanted to go out there. That's I understand why he was so disappointed. 'Cause I was so disappointed. I was hurt. You know what I'm saying? So because he would have been able to show his stuff. You know what I mean?
Shiloh
been-
make
I
it
would've
to the
been third
league,
or fourth
even though
round.
he didn't get invited.
Exactly.
Yes, he'll have a chance. I
would've
don't know
definitely
if
been
I don't know if
drafted.
I don't know
He'll
if he'll
get
be
drafted.
drafted.
He'll get drafted
know if
by
he
one
get-
of
he's gonna
one
have
of
a shot, though.
Dion's friends.
Yeah, he'll have a
6th,
shot.
7th round guy.
Shiloh gonna be in the NFL next year, whether he sticks or not. He gonna get a chance, a shot.
He would have to be absolutely horrible.
Yeah.
Not to
Which
stick.
is
He's a
not.
part of royalty.
He
He's a part
brings
of royalty.
something
Jimmy
to the
Horn
table.
raised his stock from Colorado.
Oh,
the
yeah.
receiver that was playing with.
So
him.
because what happens in those things, like it ends up being really a glorified track meet. So a lot of the times, like guys that have side bets and hustles on those things, like who's gonna run the fastest, who's gonna do whatever. But what happens would be like, say these guys play the same position, Marcellus and Donald. The combine is for us to help sort it. If we gave them the same grade, normally you're gonna take the best athlete. So that's where the combine
That's
comes
beautiful
into play.
said. Well said right there. Let's end it right there. Shit, I'm way better athlete. No, you know what's weird? That's a great. We're gonna do this. He is a better athlete than me,
Offensive lineman, yeah.
but I have
No.
better measurables.
Yes.
Defensive linemen traditionally are better athletes than
Yeah.
offensive
No,
linemen.
no. What I meant by that is you're right. I have better measurables than him. Like you're 22 reps. I did 35. I'm 39 and a half. You 35. But he can play basketball and he can move
Right,
for
that's
his
what I'm
size
saying.
better than I could.
You, a left tackle being 6'7", 360 and can move
And
is
can move.
the best athlete in the
Yeah,
world.
that's
Like,
an
is that-
interesting point.
So the
because-
kid there is a kid from Missouri, Mimbu, who was 6'5", 330 pounds, ran a 4.91.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Had a 38-inch vertical.
That's crazy.
Damn.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Oh, he
That's
drafted.
like me. I was running 4.9.
Hey, hold your party before the draft because you won't be on the board long. That's
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we had the party. You can say, hey, man, we ain't going to be here long. We can go ahead and have the party.
yeah. We can have
Because
this.
you don't want to
We
have the
can-
party and then get drafted the next day.
Yeah.
did his
He
thing
had
right
that
there.
party.
Did you
All
guys
right.
have? Go ahead.
Let's get into this. Who had a fight party? Who went?
Have a draft
who
party?
Who watched Tank? Who watched Tank and Lamont Roach go at it?
When we, yeah, the song.
Donald's drunk.
Last
we love
weekend.
him. Who had a party?
I watched it.
All right, what happened? Because I heard somebody got cheated and he took a knee
So,
and he
so
didn't get hit.
listen, man.
What?
Yeah, Tank took a knee, and he said he took a knee because sweat was in his eyes. From
But he
grease,
didn't wipe his
grease
eyes.
From his
He
hair,
didn't wipe his eyes.
and it got into his eyes. But
He didn't wipe his eyes?
No, he didn't wipe his eyes.
They wiped his
He
head.
didn't wipe his eyes. He went like this. He ain't go. If you like greasy eyes, you don't go
he
like
took
this.
a knee.
Like,
He
you
took a knee to kind of
glove on.
to break up the monotony because he was getting it. Tank, they could have given him a defeat, his first L, but they gave him a draw.
Yes.
He
So
actually
he
lost
lost.
that
Did
fight.
he lose the fight?
He
to
lost
you?
the fight.
He did?
And
He
I'm
lost
gonna
the fight.
be honest. I didn't know who Roach was coming into this.
Nobody did.
I did not. But I have a great respect.
And
for
here's
him.
the thing about Roach
I have a
and,
great
and-
respect
and
for
Tank
him.
Davis. They've been fighting since they were like 11, 12 years old. So
So he knew him.
He knew him.
So that's why he was walking
He
through
knew
the fire.
him. He knew they come up Baltimore, DC. They were in like the amateurs together before they went pro, like 12, 13
Okay.
years old. So he knew his nuances. He knew how to get down.
So he didn't have any fear. Because I was like,
He didn't
this
have any
dude,
fear.
He's standing right in front of me. I'm like,
Yeah, I think you're watching that now.
They're- they're
Now that
buddies.
now
This
that
is
gives me a
same
better
camp.
perspective because I didn't know that.
Yeah, they're
and now it
buddies.
makes sense why he was.
He
was
knew
in
him.
there.
So
They know
Oh,
each
yeah.
other.
He
know
met his
each
match.
other.
Oh, so he was like,
Tank
oh,
Yeah, I
said
do
moving
this
Yeah.
all
He met his
day.
match.
Cheat code.
But did he take his foot off the gas because he knew him and they were friends?
No, he met his match and he's like, I'm about to show you because I don't have a big name. You have the big name.
I'm going to get you.
I'm going to get you.
I hear that, but you know if you
That's
and your
Cameron
y'all
and,
friends,
Ocho
y'all
Cinco.
friends and we cool, and I know
you go,
this is
ain't
your
no
chance
beef.
to come up. Do I want to take you out?
No, absolutely.
Or do I want to? Let's both get out of here.
It's like
Because he
Creed.
could have lost.
Yeah, it's
he
like
could have.
Creed.
He got dropped. That's a game. You can't play those type of
But
games.
he don't
when
think
you can get
But
dropped.
he don't think he gonna
Is
lose.
Tank? Were we thinking
gonna
of
find out
Tank?
in the
Like,
rematch.
is he?
He said
was
no rematch.
unbeatable.
They
It's
always
already
say
in
that.
contract.
He said he's not gonna do
They
it.
said it's already
They always
contract.
say that when
What,
they
the
leave the
rematch?
fight. Then
Yeah,
they
they said
He
Definitely
said it's
do
not
a
gonna be his
rematch.
next one.
then the lawyers get together and say
here's-
this is how
here's
much
where the
money you
friends
can
come
make.
in. We gonna get this bag together.
Yeah,
so we
it's
gonna
like-
do a rematch. We going in this
But this
one
is
fight
playing
knowing
with-
we
but
about to do
that's-
two.
It's like
But that
Rocky
plays
and
into what I'm
Apollo.
saying.
Yeah.
That's a good storyline.
I'm not
Like,
gonna knock you out
I'm
right
not
now.
gonna knock you
I
out,
need
but
you
I'm
to
gonna make
have
you
this
look
stop.
good. I'm gonna make it close, so we can string this along.
No, you don't
I
risk.
have
You don't risk
competition.
losing the fight for that.
But
You don't.
He took a knee
that fight was
mid-fight.
so-
But
that
what's
fight
that
was so
division
close.
look
Isn't
like?
that
You
what professional boxing
You risk
is?
losing the fight. Like let's not lie to ourselves. Every boxer ever, and we know some personally, they pick their opponents in the beginning to build them up, right? You got to pick who you fight, and that's a build up. That's good management. Now you get to a point where it's like, let's make our money. Phase 2 is like, let's make our money, and then 3 is like, all right, where's the longevity in this? Who do I challenge? Do I go up in divisions?
And legacy.
A legacy. So he may be in the phase where I wipe out everywhere I fight. Like, I need some money. I need some interest, because Tank versus anybody is Tank winning. Now, this is the first time you may say in a rematch, I don't know. And look, it's the what's them brothers? What's them YouTubers?
Oh, the Paul.
Jake Paul
It's
brothers.
the Paul model. You just gotta act like you're gonna win.
Right,
And
right.
they gotta act like you.
like Floyd with Conor McGregor for a while. Oh,
Right.
Oh, 8 rounds. Bop, 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 bop. Let's get you up out of here.
That's it. Get out of here. And so
He could have lost. He actually.
Yeah, because
If it would have been one more round, it was like 9-10, 9-10, 9-10, 10-10, 9. Like, it was really close.
is Tank that dominant? Like, were you walking into that fight?
Yeah.
Like, that's what I hear. But I don't know.
In general or in
Yeah.
that specific fight?
No, in general.
Oh yeah, he's dominant.
He that
knocking
guy.
everybody out.
But can I
Everybody.
rephrase that? For a decision, if it goes to distance, it's Tank that. Because he
He's
always
always
knocks
gonna get
everybody
the
out.
upper hand. He's the champ.
But he took a knee and he didn't get penalized.
He didn't
for
get
it.
penalized for it.
What's that about? I heard that.
I mean,
I saw that.
that's
I
about
don't know
quick
why
boxing.
that.
What I knew,
He did hop up quick though, Seth.
from what I knew,
It was a
voluntary
It
knee.
don't mean
I know, I feel you.
A count.
I feel you.
a knee's a knee.
A knee's a knee.
right,
A
you're
knee
Once he
used to
took the
give
knee-
you a 10 count.
Nah,
I
you
I mean,
right.
they don't say that no
Should give him
more.
a count.
And they
They
give
I
him
ain't-
a-
should have given him a count. They didn't.
They didn't.
So he just
They
took a
didn't
knee.
give him a count. He
Didn't
just
move.
took a knee
and
got
ran
back
to his
up.
corner.
Does
When you
any-
took a timeout, what's wrong with
Yeah.
that?
No,
It was a
that's not the
voluntarily
sport,
knee.
my life. I got Hey, okay.
He did 20.
So we all can agree it sounds like boxing is not dead, it's dying. Because if this is garnering all of our interest, I love Tank. We also don't know Roach like that, but now we do. We're like, Canelo's supposed to fight Crawford. Is that happening?
Yeah. They called it off? No.
Well, yeah.
It's on.
So why won't
We
Craw-
are
Crawford-
answering the question. What is boxing? Like, what the
Well,
fuck?
the-
We don't care. We don't know. We
don't-
ain't in it. We out.
But see, Marcellus, that's why
damn.
quietly Jake Paul's the best thing for boxing.
He the best thing they got. We know
He's-
every detail.
You
of
know
that.
every
Mike is hurt.
detail.
He ain't gonna fight.
Cats
He
are
back.
cats are making money. They're getting shots. And everybody is seeing it. Everything else is controlled by 3 basically boxing oligarchs.
Yeah.
And they control all the narrative. They control all the purses. They're giving these cats the business.
Yeah.
That's why Jake Paul is actually good for the sport.
Well, there aren't any marquee, like there aren't the marquee names that make you. I just remember like and it's
Canelo
different.
is a name.
He's fine, but he's fine.
Don't do
There's
that.
a whole lot of names.
Look, who's
Canelo's
Canelo?
a dude.
But Crawford is
Who's
a
Canelo?
name.
Fine. Like,
Crawford's a dude.
yeah, but they got to fight. They need to fight big fights. And so what has happened? And I'm a Floyd fan, but what people say is like the best don't fight each other because they don't want to have a blemish on their record.
Right.
Right.
Well,
When we were
it's
coming
also
up,
because
it was
the,
Hagler,
but it's
Hearn,
also because
Sugar
the
Ray,
cats
they fought each other.
It's also because the Bob Arams and those cats are controlling everything.
Yeah, like-
And look,
Fighters want to fight.
the fighters want to fight. UFC fixed that because they knew the issues with boxing. He's like,
And that's what is
He
good about
sees
you're going to
right.
fight.
versus
you gonna,
one.
like keep them away. I'm gonna make them fight, and you know what it did? It eliminated our sensibilities of caring if you're perfect. Like
Yeah,
you can
that's
look
right.
other than John Jones, who got even a blemish,
That's
but
right.
that was disqualification. We give a damn who fighting
That's
and
right.
they record.
You just
We
wanna see
wanna
the fighter.
them.
Is
Top
like
stars.
all of them, they all fight because that's part of it. Is like you want to see people challenge. The UFC does a much better job of that than boxing. They don't have
Oh,
we
they
don't
kill
have
it.
marquee fights. We don't have things to get excited about. And even though if your dude loses, you know they're gonna run it right back. It's almost like we're conditioned that if he ain't undefeated, then he can't
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's talk about this, because I don't know about y'all, but when I left high school, man, the thing I was so excited about was like all those things that you heard growing up, whether it's the U.S. Army, waking up in the morning, do more before the day than most people do before they wake up. You know, all these messages, go to college and be educated, you'll be something. I mean, I grew up poor, but, you know, I don't have a poor story. I had a lot of love in the house. I had my mom and dad there. I didn't get messed with by gangsters, but it was a lot
Your
of.
grandmother was a gangster.
My grandmother had a lot of boys who fuck you.
People up, you got your junk.
Yeah, I got jumped. Grandma! Look, you can't go through this world unscathed. My son is in Encino and he broke his wrist yesterday. Like, shit happens. I know that. But I look forward to making my own life. And it started with me leaving the nest. Going to college was like huge for me. But now I hear stories like this, and I'm like, damn, how big is it to these kids? Rick Pitino, Coach Pitino, is not even recruiting high school kids.
Yep.
Sound like a hatchet starting off conversation.
There you go.
But damn, they ain't even tripping on your kids no more. What's this about?
Well, let me ask you this, right? If you're starting an organization, right? You're the CEO at 50, 45, whatever. Shh.
I know where you going.
Silence is golden. Right?
Bow our heads for Donald Penn. He gone.
Right.
DP, I hear
So-
you. I got
so-
you. I got you.
Well, would you take now your first hire? Would it be a 17-year-old kid, or would it be a 21-year-old kid who has some type of substance in the world?
21-year-old young man. Yeah.
Right, so that's what they're doing in college. They're saying, give me somebody who's been through some type of fires, through some type of adversity, already left the nest. I know what his grades is. I know what he's doing at night. I know all these things.
You know his points per
or
game.
do I take? It's not even that, because again, they're taking kids who are not even starters on other schools right now. Right,
Hatch, what changed this whole
COVID.
the transfer portal.
COVID.
The portal. Now it's also NIL, because again, the reason they're not doing spring games this year, a lot of big time schools, the Floridas and Georgias, Alabama, USC, because now if I watch your spring game, I see your second and third stringers.
Oh, let me get him.
Oh, let me get him, because for a third stringer,
Yeah,
you're
they got
getting
another portal open in
paid
April.
Yeah, let
$50,000,
me get
but
that. Let me
we'll
get
pay
that.
you $250. So we take you and say, hey,
Pass
you
it
want
on
to get in the
license.
portal.
Yeah.
So right now, give me a transfer kid all day from if you want to really start to win soon, like win next year. They're gonna take a transfer
And
kid.
basketball is different. So Rick Pitino, to give broader context, he said, I have 3 guys leaving that are seniors, like super seniors, like 5th or 6th year guys. A high school guy is not going to replace what those guys are doing.
On the court.
And the other thing he said, which teams are winning national championships with high school guys?
Not
Duke
happening.
always has the best recruiting class, 4 and 5 stars.
Kansas.
They got everybody,
Right.
but
Right.
They ain't winning.
those guys can't win because you can't put an 18-year-old in there with
22.
a 23, 24-year-old.
Just like if you play 9U and go up 10U like
That's
we
a
did.
big
this weekend.
difference.
That's
Yeah.
the same thing going on with these guys reclassifying. And I understand exactly what you're saying, but it just sucks for MJ, DP3.
But
You know, but now
it doesn't
but
suck.
The thing that tipped it over was COVID, because you got extra years.
No,
for
it's the
COVID.
new rule.
No, but they got the new rule.
I have a ton of friends who.
But Big Dog, you know they got
kids
the
are
new rule with the
seniors
JCs too.
right now.
Yeah, they got the
in
2-year
basketball.
I know you got the
And the
2-rule
thing that
JC though.
changed it is COVID. There's a plethora of older kids because you got extra years.
No,
from
1
COVID.
year. It was only 1 year.
Okay,
Yeah, but-
an
no, but
extra
this is the-
year.
but
this
But
year,
it's-
this
but it-
ends.
but it-
But it
but
happened.
even
But it happened.
the
Yeah, it
prep
happened.
schools and the colleges are all saying the class of 25 is the last class that is
Yes.
going to affect like this, and it's because the 5th year from COVID,
Right.
Yes.
and it's disrupted. It has completely disrupted recruiting.
So you're saying it's gonna go back exactly
No,
like before?
no,
They
no
ain't-
way.
they ain't never
Because
going
the
They
NIL
already learned a new behavior.
Not exactly.
Who's the number
but
1 team in the country?
Huh?
Who's number 1? What's Auburn? What's Auburn ranked right
Auburn.
now?
Auburn. Yeah,
Right,
Auburn's
1 or
one.
2.
Yeah,
They're
right.
the oldest college basketball team ever. They're
Everybody.
all. It's like I think average of 22 and 22 and a half years old.
That's
It's
And
not
so
gonna
they're,
go-
if they're going to be in the championship, let's say they make the Final Four, it's going to be the blueprint for college basketball.
It's been like that. But like, let's be real. Let's be real, because we're here, California. Think about all those kids that were playing at Sierra Canyon, whatever. All them dudes that, because the hustle is, You don't go to kindergarten when you're supposed to.
Right.
You don't go to 9th grade when you're supposed to.
Right.
So at 8th grade. So now you're 2 years older than everybody else, but you play in high school and everybody's like, oh, he's so great. Well, damn, he's older.
You're
He's
just
older than everybody. So the cheat code, so the cheat code is, the cheat code
Well,
is
it is,
new
but
JC
here's the thing. It doesn't matter if you're 19, 20, or whatever. They're still not taking college freshmen.
no.
They're still not taking
You have
high
to be the
schoolers.
best in the
Great
country.
point.
But at some point, you have to replenish the farm.
No, but
And
but here's
it's
In
not
the portal. You just go to the
they're
portal.
gonna eliminate an entire
them
group.
It's gonna be
Yeah,
so
They
this
already
year.
have.
After,
already
no,
have.
I'm saying
First round
after
draft,
this
rookies are
COVID
gonna start
year,
being 25,
there's an entire
26,
group that's going to be
27
gone.
years old.
yeah.
And they're going to have to bring in freshmen.
No,
they're
what they're
gonna
gonna
have
do?
to.
Those freshmen,
Some
No.
schools are going
those
to have
freshmen
to.
are
freshmen
going
are
to
gonna
go
go
to
to
Northridge.
JC.
Right.
Those freshmen going to go to
okay.
Utah State.
Right, but they're gonna get-
And then they're going to
then-
Are they gonna go to JC?
Right,
gonna
yo, you
transfer
gotta
to
go
the
to
JC
JC, and
for 2
then
years.
we'll take you.
Yes.
But you
Are
gonna
they
have to
gonna
get
go to
So
some
JC
right
for
now,
2 years.
those aren't even open.
Yeah,
Are they gonna go
That's
to
what I'm
JC for
saying.
2
There's-
years?
Those aren't open right now. I'm telling
There-
you.
But
The-
you gotta,
the
like, if
portal is
If you
open.
merge all what you guys are saying, what is going to happen is you're saying they're going to cut off with the age 2025. We're not going to have all these old super seniors.
Not
He's
happening.
and then they already put in the legislation where you're going to go to JC and then not count against your 4
Yeah,
years.
they're trying to put
so
that in place.
that's going to be now the JC is not going to be looked at with the same stigma of you
Because
Prop
that used to
48,
be-
you
and
got
actually,
kids,
it's
you off
actually-
track. It's going to be like JC's going to be a feeding ground to the
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, and now you're going to have 6-year college
Yes.
athletes.
Well,
And
you
then
already have, yeah.
24. Yeah. We already have.
Think about this. There's a quarterback that they're talking about that is the buzz, Tyler Schultz, who's at Louisville.
Yeah.
7-year player.
Yeah. Michael Penix was a
he-
6-year college kid. college
Like
guy.
more people are taking advantage. That dude is 25 years old.
Playing against
He's
kids.
grown. Playing against kids. Like the game is in super slow motion. We who have kids that are getting ready to go, that you're going to have to tell them, hey, man, I know you have these aspirations of going to Kentucky and North Carolina. You're going to have to change your path. You may have to go
D2.
to St. Mary's
Yep.
to get to North Carolina at the end. But going straight, it's only going to be a handful of dudes that go
Yeah.
straight from.
50 of them. That's it.
Yeah.
The JC route is just a lateral move because all it does is take everybody who is reclassifying, going to prep schools.
Yeah.
Like you graduate from
Yeah.
high school and then you go to prep
Cheaper.
school, do the extra year. It's like, all right, well, you don't got to do that now. Now you can just go to junior college. As
We
a
can go to
real-
Valley.
Yeah.
Go to
Yeah,
Valley
stay
for a
there,
couple years.
and then go.
Because
So-
again,
without
everybody's got to
losing
wait for
anything.
their body to get ready. Like everybody's not ready at 17. You got to get bigger, stronger, faster. So some people
So
are
you
going
don't
to
gotta
get
do that extra
bigger
year.
It's
at
funny
19
because you
and
say
some at
that.
21.
Like my son is a 3rd grader, but he's 9, so he's like an older 3rd grader. But we didn't do reclassifying anything. He's an August kid, so them August kids are the ones.
there
you
you
can
go.
go.
August kids.
Mine's
They,
in July.
normally get penalized.
Yeah, they normally
'Cause
go
because
either
they're
way.
the youngest.
Yeah.
They're the youngest
Or-
of their thing.
Or they're the
they're
oldest.
oldest, depending
Right.
on when you make the decision.
Exactly, and we benefited from that. And look, I'll be real. I didn't have to make this decision, but if I did, I wanted him to be old in his grade, not young in his grade. Because I played with Stace Bozeman, who is like literally one of the best athletes in history, no matter what his pro career looked like. This sucker he was number 1 in the country in football and number 2 in the country in basketball. And I think
What's
there was
his name?
Stace Bozeman.
What
But
happened?
Iverson was the same, number 1 and number 2.
What happened to him?
And then I'll tell you the story. But then there's one guy that, not Shane Battier. There's a guy that went to like North Carolina to do.
Oh, Ronald Curry.
Ronald Curry.
Ronald Curry.
Number
Played
1
with
and number
Curry.
1. He's I
one
think
and
he's
one.
the
He was
only
with
kid
Julius
ever.
Peppers.
Yeah, Ronald
Yeah.
Curry.
Yeah, it was Ronald Curry, number 1
Played with
ever.
him at the Raiders.
He was
Curry and Peppers were
quarterback,
together.
quarterback, and then
So
the point guard.
here's the point of it. Like those kids are gonna grow and still, if they're top of class, you're gonna have it. Water finds its way. Like if
Those guys will
if
go.
you a dude, you're gonna be a dude.
Facts.
But if you a middle class player, like I was in high school, upper
have to
middle
go.
class, but you're
have
gonna
to
have to you're gonna have to weave and bob and do what you got to do.
Yeah.
But the craziest thing is now, what I see is that at college, they know that they making money and they got these players here. And the last thing they want to do is cut off the faucet. But they
Exactly.
also don't want cats in here not enjoying this experience, because what are you going to be as an alum? They make their money. We think we get lost in, they make their money off of TV rights and they making their money off of athletic games.
Tuition.
They making their money off of endowment.
Yep.
And how you gonna give back if you didn't even go to a school and care, or you went to 6 schools and cared about all of them? You know, so they gotta they're making their money right now, but they're making their money with a dude who went to 4 schools. So I wonder how this is going to play out going along.
It's hard. Like I would use Jordan Addison as an example. Jordan Addison was Biletnikoff Award winner as a wide receiver in Pittsburgh. He comes to SC his last year.
Oh yeah.
Doesn't have a great year.
Not at all.
Goes to the pro, but now I would say in a way he kind of messed up the bag because if he had stayed at Pittsburgh, he's a legend. But now Pittsburgh, people are looking at him like, bro, you
traitor.
So where's the bag? So it mixes up everything, but it's also a lot of these schools are now going to be like launching pads or jump off schools. Like
that's all
I'm gonna go here, and the coaches know that. They know that. Hey, Marcellus going to be here maybe 2 years, and someone is going to snatch him. But we're okay with that because
well, the new blueprint, of course, is again SEC in rushing, right? Who's the legends in the SEC, right? Georgia, Herschel Walker, right? Bo Jackson. We're talking about SEC, the best
Cam
ever,
Newton.
right? So a Division II kid transfers from the Missouri school and goes. Small Missouri school and goes to the University of Missouri last year, and he leads the SEC in rushing. Like that's the blueprint.
Yeah, that's
like,
what it's going to be.
Right? It's like
that's
so this is a dude who played 4 years, short, small, white, stocky kid, never going to get the look at the NFL.
Why gotta be white?
Right? Because he was.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? But he was never going to get the look in the league, right? But he plays his 4 years at that small Division II school, then goes to Missouri, leads the SEC in rushing, and now all of a sudden he's going to be in the NFL. Like that's going to be the blueprint for everybody.
Kid running back at Virginia Tech started out at North Carolina A&T. Historically black college university. So now what they're doing is they're beginning to look at HBCUs,
of course,
and they're plucking those guys out. Like, oh, we appreciate what you've done to develop them. We'll take them
now.
Yeah, and that's what
all the talent at.
Primetime did that.
Yeah, Primetime did that literally. Like
Literally.
He
took Travis Ensher to
Well, he
it.
took the right ones.
Ain't nothing more dumbfounding than seeing HBCUs suck in sports. Like I hate to be that guy, but all them black
help
kids.
us out.
Y'all sorry.
You can help us out.
Well, no,
Can you help us out?
You can help us out.
Like if I see a bunch of Indian kids, I'm like, y'all can't spell. Like you ever see spelling bee? It's nothing but a spell. Like you can do it for every. Like
that's
I love stereotypes.
Racist.
Like it's
that's racist.
You going to jail? You going to jail?
I'm going to jail. If I see a science academy or an academic decathlon and there's a bunch of Asians, they ain't winning. Like, dog, like our cultural influences is really what it's about. Y'all, I love Thomas Sowell. He talks about this a ton, but we got to start leaning into our culture. But don't leave yet. You got to leave right now.
I got like 4.
All right, give me 4 minutes.
And let's get this off. Let's get this off before I gotta go to work.
Let me go.
Let's get this off before I gotta go to work. Come on.
He on that Justin Tucker day spa. He's like, I got 4 minutes. President Trump wants the death penalty for drug dealers. And I saw the headline and I was like, what? I said, God dang. And then I scrolled again. I was like, let me get me some reputable sites. And I kept seeing, I was like, oh, there's video. And his point was, he's like, look, the countries that have a death penalty for drug dealers, China, Singapore, etc., they ain't got a drug problem. And I said, this is interesting. Because I know it always makes, at least black people be like, oh, what'd you say? Like we got to be drug dealers.
Well, let's
Hold on. Let him finish.
We don't have to be. But it's an interesting outcome. If you can eliminate the drug problem, he says, because every drug dealer affects up to, he said, 500 people. Whether it's you kill somebody on OD, whether it's the family gets distraught. Look, I had a crackhead in my family, my uncle. He whooped my grandma and tore up her house and did too much craziness, etc. And he's like, the effects are just so everlasting. Let's get rid of it. Where y'all at on this? No. Let's go to him first because he got to go.
Well,
President Trump wants the death penalty for drug dealers. You with it?
I'm just not sure who the real drug dealers he's referring to. Because as a black community, we go say, oh, it's Jimmy and Joe on the corner. And I don't think that's it because we know that's not where the drugs is coming from.
To his point, he also explained there has to be classifications, quantities, designations, but I think he's talking kingpin.
Yeah,
he basically was like, it sounded like he said kingpin, but he was like,
the big numbers is coming in on boats and planes.
Yeah.
And we know, like I said, we don't have that $10 million to put down, and so Jimmy and Joe on the corner don't got nothing to do with that. But that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Which one is he talking about?
on the plane. You see how he's getting extradited from Mexico. All those, what do we had about? What was it, about 20 came? Yeah, you didn't see that? I'll look it up.
He bringing drug dealers here? Oh, you mean
he's
the
extraditing them from Mexico?
for our jails. For our jails.
Yeah,
Oh, okay, gotcha.
yeah.
I'm following you. Yeah.
So
No, you ain't messed it up. I was just like, what?
You said which type of drug dealers? I thought you was about to get into a deeper bag. You was about to talk about heavy pharmaceuticals. Because
well, that's a whole nother.
I thought that's where you was going with
So
it. Because that's the real drug dealers.
But he can't touch that because that's our
That's some of their
government.
money. Yeah.
That's
He
our
touching
government.
everything
though.
right
now.
That's
But-
our government.
touched
He
all
touching a
of
lot
it.
of stuff with the government.
That's our
But-
Let's start with
government.
Donald
though.
Jr.'s drug dealers because he's always high.
Okay.
Period.
Oh.
I had to get that off.
Is he?
He's
So,
always
so you
high.
got facts on that one?
He's
It's personal.
look at
It's
him.
personal.
Look at
Look
his
at him.
eyes. Look at his actions.
look
He's
at me.
always high. Donald Trump
Tell
Jr.
me, do you
in
like-
my opinion, is always high.
So you gonna put his guy who gave him whatever you think
So,
he's on
right. So
in jail for life?
and,
No.
and plus
Or
the
death penalty?
are we gonna let's kill Oliver North? Let's start with him. He brought the drugs to South Central. That's the CIA for the
That's what
Iran
I'm saying.
Contra
Which
scandal.
who's really the?
So
That's what he-
come on
True.
now. Let's if
So,
we're gonna start,
Oliver
we gotta
North-
But
start.
you okay? I love you because I could tell your politics before I could tell what your opinion is, which tells me which probably what party you're on. Because I asked, would you agree or disagree with like a drug cartel kingpin going to jail and getting a death penalty?
But he said drug dealers.
Yeah, he
didn't
said
say
that, but-
he didn't say
No,
cartel
no.
Type of
kingpin.
drug dealer.
Yeah, but there
I'm
is no
giving
context
context.
to that. That
He
it
has-
was a
he has
blanket
a-
statement.
There
He
is
said
actually.
drug dealers. There's a whole lot of kinds of drug dealers.
No, he said he the headline said drug dealers. I'm reading the headline. I listened to the video. He says there's classifications. So we're going to put it at kingpin. Would you give the
Is a doctor in Florida who runs a pill mill a kingpin?
I know you're smarter than this. So we're going to
See
have
what
fun.
I'm saying?
No, I'm
You
saying
see what I'm
it
saying?
seriously.
You gotta
If he's distributing tens and tens and a million pills
I
a
don't
year,
know what a
So is
kingpin
Pfizer.
is he a
And
kingpin?
even
So is
Trump
Pfizer.
said,
Talking about kingpin,
we'll
Richie.
put
You
it.
know what kingpin is.
You know, like,
right, but
can
it comes in a lot of.
This
You
is
guys,
the
wait a minute.
difficulty of
The
this
biggest,
country.
the biggest thing right now is pills.
Okay, well then
Right?
maybe you should sit this one out because you're acting like you're the
We're
one
not
kingpin
talking
is,
about
and
pills.
I do.
We're,
I'm like, oh my God,
we're
bricks.
talking about dope. We're talking about dope.
Like,
only.
like, I
The
don't
drug
need
game
to
has
be that
the
stubborn.
drug game has changed,
But
y'all.
because they talked about because
Drug game has changed.
They were talking about fentanyl and all that.
Yeah,
other
yeah.
stuff.
Right.
That's always been a big thing. So the only concern that I would have
Okay.
is because black and brown people are disproportionately put in jail, and when you think about the lenient oversight on law enforcement now, I just worry about more of us filling up privatized prisons, which is for profit and those things. Now, if you're talking about like, hey, you're gonna handle all the cartels and you can do all the stuff and you're really worried about it, like it's cool, but you want to make sure that those things aren't disproportionately
Okay, so I give
impacting.
it to you simple.
Yeah.
If I say if you got I'm using loose measurements because I don't know the drug game like that. If you got a
Crack and
ton
coke.
of crack,
And coke.
if you got a ton of crack and coke, and if you got this much fentanyl, because it only takes that much to kill you, but you got this much, you're going to get the death penalty. Are we liking that? Or are we like, nah, that's too low? We're not? Why?
I'm not a
Extreme.
I'm not a death penalty
Especially
person.
like how Bucky said, it affects most that look like us. So I feel like that's going to go left. The numbers are already skewed to work against us, and that just make it worse.
But that only affects us if we raise our hand to do it. Like, I grew up in a drug neighborhood. I ain't even.
I thought about
What?
it.
You dumbasses. Go ahead. Make your little
Okay.
money. Have a 5.0 in high
Okay,
school.
so
Who gives a damn? Like you
agree.
ain't doing nothing real. So it ain't affecting black and brown people. It's affecting people who want money early.
Well, let's-
But we can't act like both two things can be true. Like,
Okay,
you
you're
don't
right.
have to make that choice. You didn't have to do it, but that doesn't mean I'm not aware enough to see what's going on around me and who it does affect.
Right, because then it's also
Great point.
all of the conditions that our kids are going to grow up in, right? So we're talking about wiping away.
But
Department
white
of-
people
No,
are
hold on, wait, hold on, no.
fentanyl.
But I'm not even talking about that.
Okay.
I'm just talking about like poor people in general. So you wipe away Department of Education, so that impacts the education that our kids receive when they're already building prisons based on third grade reading levels.
Yeah.
So if we're already behind there, we're setting ourselves up to have more of our people, not only black and brown, but everybody in prisons. So to me, it just seems like a setup down the line that we're gonna look back.
A little caper for the poor.
Yeah. Well, but see, that's why I bring up the pill doctors.
Yeah.
There's a. I've known people who were.
Where you going, Hatch? Pill doctors.
I've known people who were addicted to pills.
Yeah.
Pain pills, and then when the supply of pain pills get cut off, they move to different drugs, and that's what's happening. People were addicted to pain pills. The supply of pain pills gets cut off, so you have to either move to heroin or fentanyl to get the same high. So these
that have to sounds loose.
Well,
please don't say you're
no, because it's free will. You're right. It's free
yeah.
will.
Like I this whole the have to is the same thing with the drug conversation.
if you're staying
in the neighborhood,
staying in the drugs,
can we get? Are we all old enough where we're not tempted by drug dealers and drug right?
Right.
So did we all grow up in a world where it was there, but it like
but
the have to is a lie.
Yeah, but people are, and that's that's what you have to understand is.
What?
People are addicted.
No, I'm not saying you're not addicted.
And it's not that easy to fight.
Addicted. We're talking. He's trying to get rid of the addicted by getting rid of those who supply the addicted.
What I'm saying is that it moves. It moves to the next thing that's available.
Well, let's stay on this thing.
I think the death penalty is extreme.
Okay, that's what. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the death penalty is extreme. Like life in jail, 25 years. I think that's considered a life sentence right now. Death penalty is extreme because some people say you become a kingpin, right? Say you started drug. No,
that is a long time and leap.
But
you become a kingpin.
What I'm saying is,
if you know the deterrent is I could get death penalty.
I
why are you becoming a kingpin?
But what I'm saying is, if you start selling drugs out of necessity, you don't have anything to eat. You want to, put food on the table, put clothes on your kids. It's kids out here that turn to drugs to sell drugs because it's a necessary way of life. Like some kids turn to.
Do you believe that for real?
Absolutely, 100%.
Does everyone believe that? Or am I the only one that doesn't believe that?
No.
You don't want to work where you can work.
In some environments, that is true.
That is the way out.
Across the board, no. It's not.
Yeah.
But there are certain scenarios.
100%.
Where is there in this country where there's not a place to work that, look, it ain't fresh. It's going to give you enough money to keep something going. Where, like, I don't know that place. It wasn't Compton.
I know a place.
Where? Go.
It's everywhere, Marcellus.
I'm listening.
I mean, it's a way of life to get extra money. I mean, some people do it.
Extra doesn't sound like necessity.
I mean, it's just some people do it because.
I'm really critical on this issue because I hate when they say we had the drug, I had to do it. I'm like,
it's a side job.
My boys told me this. I was like, no, you didn't. We grew up next door to each other. You lying ass. Like, you dog, the welfare was enough. Like, you just got to wait, hold your breath, stay underwater, Nemo.
Everyone can't say that. It's
well, then that's why everyone.
It's a way of living for
everyone's
others.
not outside of jail, too. Some are in.
And you also had your mom and dad in the house who was steering you in the right direction. Some kids don't have that. They don't have that. They may have a mom in the house or a dad is in jail. Their mom is on drugs. They are the leaders of their house.
True.
The only way that they can do, you got your parents telling you, like, this is the way we gonna go. So welfare is enough right now because we got this. Some kids are 12 making their own decisions.
They don't know it.
It's all. Look, I'm not saying. What I'm saying is that conversation, it still applies to them. They're 12 making responsible decisions, even if they're irresponsible, right? And that responsible decision, they know not to run across the freeway at 12. Why? Because they know the consequences. Get your ass hit. So if Trump is trying to say, and this is not a pro-Trump conversation. This is like, if you put enough consequences out there, are you going to be smart enough to stay away from them, or are you going to be crazy enough to tempt them? And he's saying in countries where they say, your ass going to go to, you're going to die if you do that shit, they don't do it. And wouldn't we want a world where, or at least a country where ain't nobody selling drugs and doing it? It's interesting,
well, it's very interesting because it's very alluring. Right, but it has to apply evenly.
Oh no, I get you.
And that's what I'm saying. It's got to be the pill mill doctors too, because they're pushing drugs.
I would love that.
So if it's all of that,
so what's the level
then
that's what
listen. You
let's just for imagination, because we don't know his classifications. It is even. You got the pill, you got the white collar, the blue collar, you got the street corner. You got them all, and it's like, damn, that is uniform. Are you still agreeing or disagreeing with the death penalty? That's the conversation.
For the death penalty.
You know what?
I don't want nobody. Look, y'all don't even know what I feel. I don't want the death penalty.
My thing
for
is,
somebody
right,
to do
I'm not a death penalty guy, but
Me either.
I am for a whole
Because
lot
living
of
in prison forever
for a
is
whole lot
worse.
of punishment. Right. That's right. That's right.
That's part.
That's right. But see, here's what I
But
do
it's
know.
more expensive too. and we pay for
I'm
it.
old enough to have seen that one kid get caned in the Philippines, right? And that always taught me, all right, if I'm going to the Philippines, I'm not littering.
Thank you.
right.
I am not Brittany Griner.
I'm not
going to Russia with no
doing
weed.
anything wrong
You
if I'm
dummy.
in the because they will put my ass in the center square and they will cane me. So if you know what's going on, then you are really taking it into your own hands, and it's good on you if you get it. It's good on you if you don't.
And I don't absolve anybody who's broke in the hood, whatever you want to claim, from knowing that. Because guess what? Why your ass ain't running across the 405? You know it's longer to go that way. And you going that way because you're like, I ain't going across the 405. So ain't no broke, it ain't enough broke in the world to be that stupid. So if they say the death penalty for slanging, ain't enough broke in the world to make me slang.
Right.
So I thought that was an interesting logic, even though I don't see any of us. Because it could be MJ one day, just like, Daddy, the guy gave me this, and he said I could get $20, and hell, you
Right. Where does it stop? If your kid is on Adderall and your kid sells an Adderall pill to his classmate, does he get?
But he said
Does he
King,
get
like
eliminated?
we talking. I'm thinking Kingpin, but I'm
Yeah,
listening.
so that's
Terry.
why it can't be low level. It's got to be people moving in metric tons or nothing.
Yes.
It can't be any of that low level
Yes.
stuff. Or it's either like get the people at the top or be like Switzerland or Portugal and make the shit legal and it's done.
The hardest
just
people to
think-
get are
What
the
just
people at the
happened?
top.
No,
Those are the people that are most.
But if you want to
insulated.
stop it, that's how you do it. And if you want to get people the death penalty, you got to get the top.
No, the
people.
death penalty works.
And
I just think
add-
I don't know about y'all. I ain't trying to get lit up just because I did some dumb shit
I
once.
just think it gets too tricky because when you think about kingpins and all that, obviously you think about like in the hood on the lower level, like those type of guys. But on the flip side of that, like how you touched on, when you go to those rich neighborhoods, they're not getting it from there. They're getting it straight from the doctors who can write that script for you and do it that way.
Right.
So those guys are just as bad as the guy
No,
in the
to
hood
his
that's
point.
doing
So
it.
I want to make them under this as well. So if they're under this, the same as the corner dealer, or
No,
the-
I don't think
any
anybody
of
should
them?
get the death penalty. But I'm saying
Okay.
it seems like that law is being is one side.
It's too much room for
trigger,
error.
you black man. You trigger.
That's what it sounds like.
I know. All right, so look, let's go into this topic since it sounds like that.
Sounds like 3 strikes.
It does. Look. This term is interesting because I saw on Cam Newton, he had the pastor on there, some guy. Jamal Bryant, that's him. Talking about black on black crime, and he said there's no such thing as black on black crime. And he had some interesting points. And I said, damn. He said how the media made that narrative up. And as I look into this crowd right now, I see nothing but blacks. So I want to hear, is black on black crime a made up narrative or is it real? Like, Bryant, it's a made up narrative? Because he said there's no white on white crime.
Right. Most people kill their own, and in the
Within
neighborhood,
the neighborhood,
that's what
who
you're
you see.
surrounded by.
Yeah, proximity crimes,
Yeah.
of course. But most people don't kill at the rate we kill at, though. There you go. So that look. So there's a norm, and then there's always an exception, and then usually the exception makes you say, "This is the title." So like this whole NBA, they don't shoot threes all the time. They shoot them a lot. And we got somebody we can say this is Steph's era of shooting the threes, and we put it on him, and he like, all right, but you know, James Harden is number 2 all time. Nobody even think about James Harden shooting threes, and he's number 2 all time making threes. So it's wild. Is it the problem the label, or the problem is no? We know our criminality rates are higher than other races, right? So if we get that label, is it justified or not?
It's facts. It's black on black crime. It's gangs. It's the violence. It's what we live in. We grew up in this. It's envy. It's jealousy. It's different sets.
Damn, Trip, you love your people? Or not?
No, I love them too. I do love them. But hey, one day we got to come real with ourselves and be like, man, enough's enough. I mean, we got innocent kids dying on the streets. It is a problem, black on black crime. But we do have crime elsewhere as well. You got white on white crimes. You got Mexican on Mexican crimes. But we have a problem with black on black, definitely, and it's gang violence. It's not stopping. And
You
it's
so
not going
LA,
anywhere.
he thinking that that's the only way. But first of all, what's killing most black people is their heart stops, their high blood pressure, that sugar, that diabetes. Like if we really, but no, you're right.
It is.
Lamar.
Oh yeah.
I still think it's just a label because it is obviously there's crime in black neighborhoods, but to me it makes me think about when you put the stigma that black people steal. When you look at the stats, white people lead that by a landslide. Yeah. But the
I've
label
never heard nobody say black people steal.
Oh,
never,
no.
you never
Steal?
heard that that's
Come
the
on, man.
stereotype.
Like,
What you talking about?
Like that's the whole thing. Like
That is the
when we
stereotype.
walk in stores and you
They
tell
looking
your
at
kids,
you.
you tell your kids, don't
I
put your
never
hand
heard
in your
it. I
pocket.
just know they be looking like
When you get on the elevator and the lady grabs
the
her
lady
purse, why
clutches
she
her
doing that?
purse.
Because you
Yeah.
think you're going to rob or steal.
But I've
Like,
never
come on.
heard. You know what's so funny? I've seen the actions a million times. I've never just.
You was at
thought-
Columbia too long.
Whoa, that's true.
You had money too early. That's the thing.
And yes, because
was
when
rich young.
somebody do that to me,
I laugh, but it's
Yeah,
still,
I'm like-
it's still whatever. Like
yeah,
shit,
okay.
take
I'm
it.
like,
but
still
you
there.
still are very aware. Even if we're at the little drugstore down the street, I know not to put my hands in my pocket
Yeah.
because someone's gonna come around and ask. It's the same thing I tell my kids. Hey, don't pick up nothing you ain't gonna buy.
Right.
Because that's what my grandma and my people would tell me. So that's what it is.
Where's your mic, Trip? No, where's
Trip about to snitch.
Trip.
Snitch on
I think
Hey, stop stealing mics, you fucking.
See? Stereotype.
What you say?
I think every community has crime, and it's up to us to police our own shit. But we don't need any extra labels to define our crime.
Yeah.
Like we said earlier, crime is done by proximity.
I've never heard Yakuza on Yakuza crime.
Right, and then when you hear,
Yeah.
and then there's crime in like black on black crime, white on white crime, rich on rich crime, which is called white collar crime.
Yeah.
Like this is all proximity. Black on black crime was a term created by the Southern Strategy. It's a boogeyman term. It's the great grandfather of DEI.
Go on,
woke,
Terry.
Yes.
Of CRT, of woke. This is the great grandfather trigger words to get people to look at black people a certain way.
That's right.
So that's exactly what this is. It has nothing to do. We don't have to do anything extra. We can be better people, but it's not some disease that we have or whatever that's labels it black on black crime.
And
No,
the
that's all
numbers
crime.
probably
It's just crime.
The numbers probably aren't even.
And I think the
Out of
numbers are
alignment.
similar within your own
Yeah.
community as far as your crime.
It is. Look, it's interesting. Let me step out of turn and say this, just for the sake of conversation, because you just broke that down. It is an unnecessary label because it's a proximity crime. Then you start looking at the rates, and you're like, these rates are not uniform. Like, they say 53% of all murders are committed by us when we're only 12% of the country. When we ain't talking about the women, like, so let's say 5% of the country commits half or more of the murders and assaults and like physical crimes.
But I think
Does that deserve a label? I'm playing devil's advocate because somebody got to do it.
It could be an economic or poverty thing.
that's what I was going. That was my.
We that broke?
thing. Yeah.
We are. We are.
Good.
Yes.
All right. So last segment.
Yes.
Unfortunately, we are.
Yes, I know that, but we ain't the only broke ones. Because if you look at it, Latinos are passing us in some categories, not all yet, and they don't have the same rates, and they also don't have the label, but they also commit crimes. Like, all people commit crimes. No one commits them at our rate. So I'm like, is the label appropriate or is it not? Because there's other poor people and they ain't doing it like
We're
doing.
getting convicted more.
Say it again.
We're getting convicted more.
Okay, there we go. Talk that.
So I don't. That could be where the numbers are getting skewed a little bit.
All of those
But-
things, because it's
I
just
like
not
that.
a singular thing. I think you have to take in all of the things. You have to take in race. You have to take in economic situation. You have to take in the criminal justice system and the disproportionate rates when it comes to certain things. all of that factors into those numbers. So it's just not a black, white, and brown thing. There are a lot of factors that relate to.
And you brought it up earlier. I think it's drugs, alcohol, fried chicken, cholesterol, like all of those things that are in places like
Straight, get all your stuff.
restaurants, liquor stores that are in the hoods, right? The liquor stores are proportionally placed in hoods, right? And those
not
what
owned
I mean?
by us.
Yeah. So
everyone
that's killing
feeds-
people in different pathways. It's not just gun violence. It's all around. So if you look at the numbers,
I'd rather die of chicken, though. I don't want to get shot up, Nick.
whatever the case may be, but like it's coming in different forms and fashions in the hood.
Okay.
in
Do we
black
have
places.
a problem with crime in our community? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
A big problem?
Yes.
Yes.
Bigger than any other community? Yes or no? Oh,
I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, son, you're now black. You're so black you
All right,
can't say
yeah.
yes or no again.
It's like a copycat.
Yes
like,
or no?
It's like a copycat in every other state. I'm from LA. I went to Nebraska to school. To go to college. It's a small town called Omaha, Nebraska.
Oh, yeah. Just like Compton.
Just like LA.
Banging.
It might be worse.
Banging,
But
yeah.
they get the influence and the stories from LA. They watch and they see all this
And then-
stuff.
and then-
they do the same thing.
I
in these
love
different-
all of it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 black men in here. I asked you 2 questions on bait. And y'all, yes, no, yes, no. I asked you one more and you motherfuckers, not one of you said yes or no. Do we have a worse crime problem in our community than others?
We do. I said it depends on what you mean by community. Because are we talking about black people
You know
or where you
community.
live? Because your community is also where you live.
That's
so
true.
if you as you move up, your community changes.
That's
But
true.
if you're specifically talking about black people,
Yeah,
then,
black people.
then yeah.
Yes or no?
I said yeah.
Yeah, everything else was yes. Now, yeah.
I mean,
like, don't take
all
my
right,
card.
Columbia.
Don't take my black card. Don't take my black card. Hey, these are the conversations I love because ain't nothing gonna get fixed until the grown ones and the smart ones and the ones who know it better are like. This world has now. We're all guilty of this. I know. This world has baptized us and whooped us into being a silent majority. There are more people that do right in this world than wrong. There are more people in this world that know better than don't, right? And we have gotten fatigued, tired, mad, stop labeling me, and we don't fight back, and they louder than us. So they take away from the experience because we just go on our way. I don't want to be bothered. You know, stay in my own zone. And then our kids gonna go into a world where that voice is gonna be loud. They don't want to be the face of shit, Anthony Edwards. They ain't gonna want to deal with it. They just gonna stick to their lane, and their lane gonna be so narrow.
because it's hard, right? Yeah. Because when you do stand up and you are a voice, and if you do take stands, you have to be willing to deal with the consequences that come with that.
Yeah.
And so if you talk about like 60s and what our parents and grandparents endured.
I thought you was about rolling. I thought you was about that
to
neighborhood. I was like, this is a buck. What buck? No, I'm from it. That's my hood.
No, but you have to. No,
that's my people. That's my hood.
I'm not from LA.
I know that's
So
in
I don't-
North
I can't-
Carolina. That's how they get beat up out here.
Yeah, I can't go there.
We know
But
state.
yeah, but it's that like what has happened is we have become increasingly selfish. And when we were selfless and we were willing to make sacrifices, and when your mom could parent me like I was your kid,
yes,
and my mom could parent you like you were her kid, we had those. And as a community, we've lost that. And so until we kind of figure all of those things out and make decisions based on the greater good as opposed to our own individual self, we'll always have these same conversations where we're not really talking about anything.
It's a balance, man. And I won't lie. I don't think either side is better. I like being selfish because, like, look, you dumb I ain't got no more time. I'm raising these little ones I got, and y'all don't want to listen? Oh, well. And then it's the flip side where I'm out there always, and I'm helping, and I'm trying, and then this kid goes back home and gets the negativity reinforced, and I got to keep going back and forth. Then I'm taking shots. You ain't who you say you are. You getting killed for trying to help people, and you're like, mother suckers. So I see both sides. I see why it transitioned into.
But I understand that part of it too.
Yeah.
Because we do have those who are ungrateful for some of the things, and I see it all the time. It's funny you brought up Cam Newton, but like people talk about him and what he does and doesn't do with the 7-on-7 program in the community. You should be giving back more, but why you expect me to give back more when you ain't giving back?
You ain't giving none.
Like you can't have a higher standard for me than you have for yourself.
That's a bar. I think that's a bar. I leave it like this because we'll stop right here. It's our community needs to know what every community needs to know, which is expect to meet your expectations. And our expectations have changed. They've lowered. Our ambition has dropped. People are not as involved in the collective because they like, dog, I just know what that feels like. Social media highlights that. You say something good on social media, duck, it's coming at you. And I think that if we can get back to a balancing act of first expect more from yourself than I can help you with, but two, expect me to come in and coach you like you're on my team. Expect me to parent you like you my kid. And that whole community involvement, I think we get somewhere. But it's tough, dog. I ain't gonna lie, I'm more selfish than ever. And it's gonna get worse. Fuck your kids. Like if you ain't care about your kids. If you don't care, why should I care? That's how it should be though. I don't like that trip and I don't act like that trip.
But maybe it should be I will care about your kids if you don't. Even if you don't.
It's a better way.
And I am doing that in action, but it's not
See,
taking root.
Marcellus here.
Because it's not the kid's fault.
Wait, let's.
It's not the kid's fault.
they shouldn't suffer.
But let's back up, Blaze. Because you have a big, giant ass heart,
And I do a lot with it.
and you do a lot with it.
I
So
give you that.
you'll never say "fuck your kids."
No, I will.
Them kids, not
No.
I'm saying
No, because I can't.
kids.
You know what? I'm not talking to the kids. I'm always gonna reach out to them. It's the parents who slap my hand away, and I'm saying, you know what? Fuck your kids, did. If you can't let me in because you know no better, you don't know which way is up. Yes, and I've gotten to that place where I'm like, I'm trying to go around you. I had a parent tell me he tried to confront me. He wanted a Cam Newton moment. I was like, what? Like fight? I was like,
Fight?
because his son didn't shake hands. And I said, that's a bad sport.
Oh yeah.
And then the parent come up to me, don't be talking to my kids like that. I say, oh, you don't want me to help your kid? No, that's my kid. I say, well, fuck your kid. Now we gonna score every time we can on that little motherfucker. You know what I mean? Like that's
Yeah,
my
it.
and I'm
That's
just
it.
using that as a loose example of
But it happens though.
It happens.
Because the thing is, like, as we talked about, like, we all grew up in communities where, like, the person down the street, if I was wrong, she would step outside and be like, get your little ass back inside. You know you wrong.
You're wrong.
But now no one wants you to necessarily go hard line with their kid, even though you know the discipline is good for the kid. Like, and so it does put you in a weird spot where you can say, you know what, I'll pull back. I'm good. Mine are good. Why do I care about everyone else? But no one wants to really be like that, but it
That's
can.
also because the kids that weren't disciplined are now the parents.
Yes.
woo. And it's full circle like that. All right. That's a bar. That was a bar. End on that bar. Episode 14 on the rocks. It's over. See you guys later in the week, and
sir.
keep rocking with us. Peace.